All righty, for the live audience, my apologies for the slight delay there. Welcome to the program. We come to you live from the Golden Days Studios in West Sonoma County, California, immediately following the Golden State Warriors not victorious. This was a game of two halves at home against the LA Clippers. The first half looked good. I was bracing myself for the reemergence of Brandon Podziemski supporters. Was expecting them to flood the show. Larry Krueger's my daddy? He is? Does that mean I'm entitled to some of his resources? Am I in the will? He hasn't even talked to Larry gave up on this Warriors team. He doesn't follow the team. He doesn't talk about the team. That is ancient history. But we're not. We are, whether this team is a dynasty or whether this team reminds you of, for your older folks out there, of the 20 years ago Warriors, the 2006 Warriors, we're here. We're going to be here no matter what. And let's try and have some fun. Custom Body Pitbull Sacrino in the chat saying I'm effing pissed. By the way, I have one little clip here in my array of clips that we use for the show. There's one that I think is borderline perfect to describe Warriors guard Brandon Podziemski.
Man, you corny!
Maybe that's better for the apologist and his fans. I don't know. I was ready to again, I was bracing myself for the Pods supporters, again, who hide out in crawl spaces, except for those rare games where he shows up. He hasn't hit the 30-point mark since, I think, November 2024. And I was bracing for that tonight. And then the second half happened. Potts had 20 first half points in this game. Finished with 22. The Warriors lose 114-101 at home to the LA Clippers, who are now just a game behind the Warriors in the loss column for the play-in. I don't know what to be happy about here. Other than they lost, maybe that's, their draft positioning improved a little bit. I guess that's something to look forward to, right? Something to be happy about. What's going on with my lighting? What's going on with my... Not feeling a lot tonight. The speaker in our chat saying, corny, tried just straight up booty. Bootylicious. Well, let's talk about it. Warriors lose. They're just a game above 500 now. Hope you all are having a good start to your week. I know that didn't help things. Guessing some of you are probably peeved by the broadcast crew tonight. Well, what did they call? What do they call this evening's theme at Chase Center? Was it Women's Empowerment Night? Is that what they called it? And so the broadcast crew of Bob Fitzgerald, and Kalina Azubuike were replaced for one night. And I heard a few grumblings there, not pleased with the broadcast. I think there was a backup plan for you folks out there that you could have watched this game on Peacock. But the Warriors, there isn't a lot to be happy about. Again, if you're a youngster out there and you're curious to know, what was it like when the Golden State Warriors were mired in decades of abysmal performances and outcomes? This is it. It actually could get a lot worse. It could get a lot worse. The speaker says, adding, the Clippers checked the stat sheet at halftime and said, oh, hell nah. And then Mr. Silax, who I can never tell whether or not you're trolling or if you're being serious, writing, Well, you need more than one star on the court. Pods can't do it alone. Is he at star status now, Silax? You are pure comedy. Let's break it down. There is one, okay, all kidding aside, there is one player who has me intrigued. And my guess is he also has Steve Kerr intrigued because he's getting some minutes. And he's immediately passed up Malachi Leon's in the rotation. I'm talking about Nate Williams. That kid looks intriguing. I don't know where he came from. I don't know how he spent his life being under the radar like he's been, but Nate Williams looks like a real basketball player. And even Steve Kerr can't hide behind the talent there. Like there's something that looks right about him. And that is a bright side. Besides the fact that the team is, the 8 seed about to fall to 9. The Clippers are on the cusp of surpassing them. Nate Williams, I mean, that could be something there. Maybe that's what we should hang our hat on. As the Warriors lose again, 114-101. The Warriors dropping to 31-30. The Clippers improving to 29-31. It's Monday. And the program's called the Golden Days. We are powered by FanDuel. Hey there. Let's go. Yeah, let's go, baby. Welcome to the show. My name is Cyrus Saatsaz, your host for the evening. You can follow me on Threads and Instagram at DogWild. Over on Twitter, my handle is at Surf Journalist. The program on both platforms at Golden Days Pod. As I mentioned just a moment ago, we're brought to you by FanDuel, and the Warriors' next game on the docket. They're not going to jump on the road. They got the next 2 days off. And then Thursday and Friday, Thursday and Saturday, the Warriors are at Houston, and they have struggled mightily this year against that team. And then on Saturday, they're at OKC, the Thunder. That's where we're at. Again, we're and something tells me FanDuel will not have a line for the Warriors Rockets game Thursday. I did get a look at the Warriors getting in there for a moment in terms of the win total. Again, this has been a running gag pretty much all season in terms of the sportsbook of FanDuel, proud sponsor of Golden Days and Believe. Side note on that front, we're on the cusp of hopefully announcing a new sponsor on top of FanDuel to be a part of this show that we're really excited about. Stay tuned for that. I know it doesn't really matter that much to you folks, but if you love the show, we got to keep the lights on somehow. It's through sponsorships, and FanDuel has been amazing. All our previous local sponsors, we love you. Hope you're all doing well, and hope to bring a new one in right now. But FanDuel, again, it's been a bit all season. The Warriors win total. This number has fluctuated. The highest it got to is 51.5. The lowest it got to 41.5. And right now, yet again, the line is not there. It was there earlier today. I took a look and I was like, oh, it's there right now. And it was at 42.5. And something tells me this loss messed with the sports books a little bit. Certainly with the bookies' heads. They play the probability game, and they don't know what to do. So the win total is back off, but it was at 42.5. And it's basically going to come down to, I think, if you want to bet on this Warriors team and their win total as the season progresses, we're about a quarter of the way to go. It's likely going to come down to betting on whether or not the Warriors will be a 500 team or better or below 500. And again, that's what, I guess 40.5 would technically represent whether or not they're going to be above or below 500. Something tells me that's where it's going to land on. And again, if you're feeling strongly one way or another about that, just go to the FanDuel Sportsbook. Easy to bet on. It's fun. Just do it responsibly. But if you do it responsibly, damn, is it fun. It really is. There's a reason why places like Vegas and even New Orleans, who has some casinos, even our local Indian reservations, who also have some casinos. There's a reason why those places are fun. This is gambling fun. Again, you just got to do it responsibly, moderately. Only wager what you can afford. If you lose that money, your night's done. That's the bottom line. That's how you got to approach it. So please do so responsibly. Our FanDuel player of the game. I was going to give the nod to Brandon Podziemski. I really was. If he had kept up his first half pace, let me give you the tale of two halves for Mr. Podziemski, who started tonight. You know who did not start, by the way? Guy Santos. What the hell did he do to get taken out of the starting lineup? Guy gets a 3-year, $15 million deal. One of the first things Steve Kerr does is bench him. But anyway, so Podziemski did start. The Warriors opting to roll with a larger starting lineup. I feel like the lineup they rolled out tonight should have been the lineup that was out there against the Lakers, minus the Guy Santos punishment. Play Guy. Guy's one of your only good players on this team, unless the goal here is to tank and they're doing it subtly. Apologies for that. In which case, then great. Then tonight went according to plan. But if you're actually trying to win, these lineups aren't smart. These rotations lack sensibility. And with all that said, first half and second half, I want to start by talking about that real quick. In the first half of this game, the Warriors were leading 56-42. They look good. The Clippers looked like a team playing the second of a back-to-back. The Clippers were slogging. Darius Garland, side note, making his Clippers debut tonight. God damn, I envy the Clippers. They have more upside than the Warriors do right now, and the Clippers haven't had a draft pick in like 5 years. How do the Clippers have a brighter future than the Warriors? Make that make sense. Anyways, but the Warriors in the first half, Moody had 10 points in this one in the first half, but Brandon Podziemski, his first half line was marvelous. He had 20 points, a 20-point first half on 3 of 4 shooting from deep, 8 of 12 shooting from the field, added 4 boards, just 1 turnover, but only had 1 assist. And that assist number, again, you're the point guard of this team. That assist number has to be higher and consistent for me to understand the value of this guy, because otherwise it's just a basketball player going out there doing weird, kooky shit that sometimes is successful on a mostly fluky level. It's successful, meaning most times, at least from recent sample sizes, Podziemski will succeed against teams that are exhausted. The last time Podziemski had a decent quarter or half was that Nuggets game, and it was the fourth quarter of a game where the Nuggets were playing the third game in 4 nights, and Pods exploded. It was incredible. And then we see dud after dud after dud. And then tonight, first half, against the Clippers team that did not come out engaged, aggressive, he feasted. And again, this was trending towards a positive Brandon Podziemski night. I just read off the first half numbers. Nate Williams, by the way, in the first half of this one, adding 18. No. I'm sorry. In the first half, Nate Williams had 5 points. Forgive me. I was looking at I was looking at the whole box score. So Brandon Podziemski, 20 points in the first half. Moody, 10 points in the first half. Warriors lead 56-42. They're shooting 43.5% from the 3-point line. The Clippers, meanwhile, in the first half, shooting just 23.8%. From beyond the arc in the first half. But then we get to the second half. In the third quarter, the Clippers outscored the Warriors 35-23. In the fourth quarter, the Clippers outscored the Warriors 37-22. And in the second half of this game, collectively, third and fourth quarters combined, Podziemski reverting back to the mean. 1 of 6 from the field, 0 of 2 from deep, just 2 points, Did grab 3 more rebounds, even though for a guard, I don't understand the value of that. Only had 2 more assists, had another turnover. And I routinely say this: give me 5 assists or more, and at least I can understand it. At least I get it. He's actually, feeding into a stat line that represents what a point guard is supposed to do: set up your teammates for success. But when in your final stat line, besides that second half absolute dud, you also have just 3 assists. I don't have it in me to give it to him. So our FanDuel player of the game tonight, Nate Williams, the two-way player. This dude was with the Long Island Nets. He's 27, which makes it kind of interesting in terms of, again, where has this guy been? Where did he come from? He came from Buffalo. What is Buffalo's school? Is it Buffalo University? That's who he played for. University at Buffalo. That's who he played for. Part of the SUNY system. What is their mascot? The Bulls. It's the Buffalo Bulls. That's who Nate Williams played for. And whatever his backstory is, and again, I think he played 2 years with the Blazers, 1 year for another team, a lot of G League runs. I don't know how he didn't get minutes with these other teams, but he's with the Long Island Nets. That's the G League affiliate of the Brooklyn Nets. And he's under a non-guaranteed deal by G League standards, which means that anybody could grab him. Anybody, and even if it's just for a G League deal or a two-way deal, any other team in the NBA could have snagged him at any point. Reportedly, Nate had some interest from playoff contenders. Lakers were a team I saw listed as interested in Mr. Williams. And he chose the Warriors because he thought he could get the most opportunities here. And tonight, Nate Williams, two-way player, our FanDuel player of the game. Congratulations, kid, with that 6'5" height, that very long wingspan, that slightly awkward yet effective southpaw shooting style. 21 minutes, 32 seconds for Mr. Williams. Nathan Williams, big Nate Williams, 3 of 4 from the deep. 3 or 4 from deep, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 2 boards, 2 assists, a steal, 18 points for Nate Williams. And in the net rating category, just a nice little cherry on top, a +1. The only other player to post a positive in net rating, Quentin Post. Side note, I thought Post got gypped. Why did he only play 12 minutes and 27 seconds? He was actually aggressive out there, was slightly impactful. I don't know why Quentin Post got the short end of the stick tonight, but Nate Williams, kudos. Our FanDuel player of the game, bravo. One of the only silver linings to this whole mess. By the way, Chardal is a new Golden Dazer. I thought I could have swore you were a Golden Dazer before. Well, Chardal, good to have you back. And we'll see you at the end of the show. This is going to be a very abbreviated show. We'll welcome the audience. Here, I'll put the link right now. But I need to wrap tonight's show kind of early. Got a early long day tomorrow. Sorry for the redundancy there. And plus, truth is, I mean, what are we talking about here? Really, like the Warriors lost again. Yay! They're just a game above 500. Yay! Before we bring the audience on. And before I really quickly give some love to a couple of other Warriors players tonight who I thought at least had a decent performance in what was a very ugly second half of basketball. This Kristaps Porzingis saga is continuing. In case you missed it, and we've been... Every day that this has happened, the program has been live, so we've had a chance already to play sound from Steve Kerr. His comments are insanity. He was on a radio show, 95.7 The Game. He has a weekly show there. and comes out and says that the POTS diagnosis of Kristaps Porzingis, a.k.a. Pingus, was misinformation. Well, Porzingis got another DNP tonight, still ill, and he spoke pregame even more about Porzingis. This is just, like, what are we doing here? If the Warriors did not make this trade to cut salary and tank for draft positioning, this was arguably the dumbest move by a front office that at least I can remember in recent history. You gave away Jonathan Kuminga, whose, side note, I haven't even mentioned his name yet, and I'm trying not to mention his name too much because he's part of the past, but how can you not bring his name up when all he is doing is making Steve Kerr eat crow? 3 straight fantastic performances by Jonathan Kuminga for the Atlanta Hawks. And it is pertinent because we're sitting here talking about the Warriors front office that is laying eggs. And the Warriors trade Kuminga for Kristaps Porzingis. Kerr calls the POTS diagnosis misinformation, then backtracks the next time he speaks to the media about it, says he shouldn't have opened his mouth. I think he called it stupid. I'm paraphrasing. And was asked about it again tonight because apparently we don't know if Kristaps Porzingis is going to be on this 2-game road trip, meaning we might only see him for 1 game total. What did you trade Kuminga for? What was the point of this? Why did you even have this summer? A 3+ month standoff this summer. What was the point? Does anyone have an answer for that? Rhetorical question. Of course not. But it again just is more evidence of the madness going on here. And let's hear from Steve Kerr because this was pregame. Kerr talking about Tingus Pingus and discussing his availability for this upcoming road trip. A 2-game set against the Rockets and then the Thunder. You think you'd want Porzingis for this stretch, but likely not available. And here's Steve Kerr, Warriors head coach. Again, this was pregame. Turn the volume up on your devices. I did not see a clean version of this out there outside of maybe audio only, but who cares? You can listen well enough. Just turn your volume up slightly so you can catch all the comments. Here is Steve Kerr pregame talking about Kristaps Porzingis' availability. He missed tonight again. He's only played 1 game total since joining the Warriors, and he's likely going to miss the road trip. Here's Kerr.
Clarity on exactly what he's dealing with.
Not really. It's it's a little mysterious. We're obviously working with him and hoping that he can get some clarity and he can kind of break through and get to a point where he's consistently healthy. But that's something that the medical staff is working hard on with him. And I'm not going to even posit any theory, any medical theories anymore.
I'd only ask this as a follow-up. Then, does the medical staff know if what he's dealing with is attached to what he was diagnosed with?
Whenever Rick Celebrini comes back up here behind the mic, you can ask Rick.
Hey, we couldn't.
You couldn't do it. Okay. Well, you can't ask me. I'm not qualified. At least he's qualified.
Do you know if he's going to be on the road trip?
Yeah. Don't know.
Like, why are people like, what is funny about this situation? This is what disgusts me when it comes to the media and their relationship with Steve Kerr. They're in bed together. Oh, it's so cute and funny. I got a medical diagnosis wrong. I don't want to talk. I can't talk about it anymore. Like, what is going on here, man? There's nothing cute or funny about any of this. This is not an endearing situation. This is not a comical situation. You gave away a prized asset for a player that you're now calling mysterious in terms of his ailment. How the hell is it mysterious? Did you not screen this? Did he not work out for you and take a physical? Did you not ask the man questions? Did you not ask the Hawks medical staff questions? You gave away a prized asset for someone whose medical condition causes him to miss a shitload of games, and you did not do follow-ups on that? What the F is going on here? God damn, this is crazy. Just utter malfeasance over and over and over. But they get to laugh. Oh my God, man. And of course, again, this is where things are really toxic, because all the media that has access to Kerr are his buddies. They're either afraid of him or they revere him. There is zero objectivity. There's zero wall/border between journalist and PR. Like none. It's revolting, man. So that's what's going on in terms of Porzingis. People are laughing about it. And then on the other side, you have Dominique Wilkins saying routinely on a broadcast, in case you're unfamiliar with Dominique, an all-time great, Hall of Famer, unbelievable player. I had the fortune of actually having memories of watching him play. He was a force. And he's now the color commentator for the Atlanta Hawks. And just listen to this. Listen to the jubilation coming from their broadcast team, their fans. You even got fans chanting in Atlanta. They call the section, I'll play the clip in just a moment, but they call this section of fans that was chanting "Thank you, Warriors," the 404 crew. But listen to Neek. Listen how happy he is.
Oh my goodness!
With the left.
Stop everything!
Oh man, thank you, Golden State Warriors.
Mother.
Stop everything!
Oh man, thank you, Golden State Warriors.
Oh my God.
Stop everything!
Oh man, thank you, Golden State Warriors.
That, like, hearing that makes me livid. How are you Joe Lacob and just sitting idly by, watching your front office and your head coach destroy your team, giving away talent, making whatever excuses in your head for like to not play him? Yeah, when Steve Kerr's gut went wrong episode, that is dropping very soon. There's no good reason anymore for me to hesitate dropping that. It's going to be a special episode. We'll dedicate a good day to that. But this is embarrassing. Having visiting teams, broadcast crew, thanking the Warriors for basically giving them a potential star for nothing. Here is the Hawks fans, in case you missed this, chanting, "Thank you, Warriors." All right, so I don't know if that, and again, for the podcast audience, I hope the audio came through clear on that. Strong section of the Hawks fan base. I believe they call that, again, the 404 crew. Oh my God. And so here we are. The Warriors, they're losers, and they gave away their best player for a guy who, by their standards, still has a mysterious ailment. It's still a mystery. Gilbert Arbolo in our chat asking, did Kuminga attend Magic City night? If that was him, I would. Well, no, actually, it depends. It depends. But if I were me in Atlanta, I'd probably be there. Julian Basher, been a moment since we've heard from you. What is your avatar and how are you doing?
Well, if you can look closely, it is Jonathan Kuminga checking off some boxes of his master plan and having the Warriors date of March 21st as his vision board.
Did you make that? Did you AI that bitch? What'd you do?
I stole it from someone, some random post on Twitter. So I saw it and I was like, yep, I'm stealing this one. But yeah.
By the way, should I leave these comments on stage from now on?
This chat is lit. What do you mean on stage?
See on the bottom right corner, right below your avatar, that little box.
Oh,
should that stay there?
Maybe not, because I think we all see the chats in general.
All right.
So
I love how right when I post that, it just there we go. This I put that up there because Sprewell was right. Side note, don't subscribe to that channel. It's on YouTube. It's hosted by the professor Armando Laura. Evan Ball joins him routinely. The Million cousins are routinely a part of that. But one thing that Armando has made crystal clear: do not subscribe to Sprewell was right. If you want to check it out, I don't think he even wants you to check it out. He just wants, I don't know if he even wants me to promote it. I'm promoting it. But Sprewell was right, dropping $10 saying, damn, this shit is lit up. It's moving so fast. I can't read it. I agree. I was trying to keep up too, and a lot of comments there. But Julian, I will shut up now. What is on your mind? And just
let's talk about Warriors, because
all right.
There's that subject that's easy to touch on. The subject of the glaring trade. But thank God, Cyrus, tonight the Warriors lost, because I could not stand Barber or others coming in the chat raving about Podziemski and saying, oh, we beat the Clippers. We're still got a chance. We just need Curry. We beat the Nuggets, even though the Nuggets are struggling right now. But this, like you said, this was a tale of two halves. And I was writing in the chat as the game was going on. It was so obvious. And I think, we have some good basketball minds here. But what was glaring to me was that Brook Lopez should not be on the court. He's too old. Nick Batum should not be on the court. And once Ty Lue realized that the Warriors' old guys could beat their old guys, take them off the court. And also, it seemed like they had no game plan. And, when Armando said that we're the trap game, you would think the word is getting out that these guys, they're still playing hard. Don't take their two-way undrafted second-round roster for granted, because the team plays like their life is on the line, because literally their NBA careers are on the line. Our second leading scorer is Nate Williams, because this might be the only chance that he gets to shine. So he's putting everything out on the court. Spencer, everything out on the court, because he might not be in the league next year. Guy got his contract, but I still think that he wants to play hard. I think later on in the game, Guy was exposed by better athletes. But as soon as Ty Lue put in younger guys, and like even that center that I don't even think gets much run, but he's just really athletic, you saw that the game shifted. And Guy Santos, we haven't talked about him yet. He came off the bench, played 31 minutes and a second, third on the team in minutes tonight behind Draymond Green, who played 31 minutes, 21 seconds. We got to talk about Dre, because I was
this pattern of him playing in the team losing.
Just about to get to Dre.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, and I'll let you speak on that. But I wanted to ask you a question, because it's just occurring to me now from looking at this box score. Moses Moody played 25 minutes, 4 seconds tonight. Mm-hmm. What did he do to deserve the doghouse?
Oh, I have no answer for you. I don't understand Steve Kerr's rotations or his decision making. I've been doing some research lately to figure out just more of the story of the thou that shall not be named. But Anthony Lamb, I didn't know that he played 20 minutes per game that season that he played with the Warriors, which was his last season in the NBA. So, and also his stats across the board were just terrible. Less than 7 points on inefficiency. So I don't understand what Kerr does in rotations the last several years. Because what does Moody do? Because here's the thing. I know that let's say I know Pod scored 20 in the first half. But,
and then 2 in the second half. And Guy Santos, real quick, what I wanted to finish up the stat line in those 31 minutes in the second. He had just 5 points tonight. Offensively, just didn't have much going. But he did grab 11 boards, which led the team tonight. But it wasn't a good night for him overall. 5 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. Did have 3 steals as well. But I don't understand not bringing him. Or I'm sorry, I don't understand bringing him off the bench. I don't understand. I just don't get this, man. What did Moody do to have his minutes reduced?
You can't build any chemistry if you don't have any consistency of what. Like, okay, I believe in you for 10 games, Guy Santos. Oh, now you're back on the bench for what? And that kind of like leads into Draymond Green.
Let's talk about that. We haven't even talked about it. Single, another triple single.
I'm going to start with this, and let's talk about turnovers. Because the player that the Warriors let go for a COVID-19 home test kit, they said that he turns the ball over. There's a difference of what turnovers are. So anyone that watches football, if you turn the ball over and the team has to go 90 yards, that's not a real turnover. But if you turn it over on their like 20 or 30 yard line, that's an easy score for them. If you have a pick six, that's an easy score for them. And what Draymond consistently does, I know I can definitely remember 2, but he has terrible passes. He passes to people that it gets intercepted, and it's so obvious for the other team where the ball is going. Those are the kind of turnovers that you see from Draymond and Steph Curry that inflate the score. Someone stepping out of bounds doesn't hurt the team because it's like you have your defense set up. Someone that makes a pass in between a lane and then it gets fumbled, that's not a bad turnover. A bad turnover is when you pass it, it's obvious, it's intercepted, and it leads to a fast break for the other team. And this guy's making, I haven't checked this contract, but $27 million. That leads to a point of, at what point should a smart coach realize that 4 years ago Draymond Green was getting grays in his hair, in his beard, at the age of like early 30? That should have told you that he was aging faster than most 30-year-olds. Okay, and I know you have gray in your beard. There's grays in my beard.
And in Dre's defense,
but you're not 32. Like he started.
But in Dre's defense, these things started popping in my late 20s. It's just I don't want to. That doesn't matter. I hear you.
I'm saying that's a sign. Like, well, here's the thing: you get paid $19 million. You have the scouts. Like, you got to say, like, hey, something is deteriorating with this guy. Because we've seen it for years that he's, year by year, he's losing a step, losing a rebound, losing an assist, not the scorer that he was. And so now here you are, you're paying someone, close to $30 million, and you should have done the David Lee thing about 3 seasons ago. Sit him on the bench.
He did try to do that with Kuminga. Like, he did volunteer to come off the bench for him, and
Draymond tried to
until the injury, and then it never happened again. Not to mention Steve Kerr shut him down. Shut that idea down himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. But real quick here, I also want to add Moses Moody. A couple people in the chat bringing up that Moody suffered that shoulder injury. It was like shoulder and wrist. Did play through it. It didn't knock him out of this game, but some folks are saying that the injury could be why he only played 25 minutes tonight. His status uncertain for Thursday. So thank you to the folks in the chat adding some context about the Moses Moody minutes, because I was a little perplexed, but he did have that injury during the game. So
yeah, shout out to Spreewell was right. He's in the chat. He said Draymond don't give an F. I wanted to correct you. You said that Pod scored 30 points before.
No,
I looked it up. He only had
before in 2024.
Really? Because his career
in November,
high
he's done it before.
It says 29 points. Yeah.
Oh, well, hold on. He's done it before, right?
No, I looked it up. His career high is 29 points.
You're kidding me. Was I wrong on that? I could have swore he's at a 30-point game. He's never had a 30-point game?
Okay, however, he did score.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, his career high is 29 points. So he's never had a 30-point game. Yeah, I'm looking up it right now.
I mean, that's what Google's saying. I could have swore, Jesus.
Yeah,
He's never had his. Why do people love this guy, man?
Yeah, I just wanted to clear
why
that
do
up.
you why do you clowns like this guy, dude? He's never had a 30-point game.
Yeah,
my apologies for the misinformation. Julian, thank you for correcting me. I'm sorry. I was under the impression he had a 30-point game. That just makes me think of him even less as a basketball player. All he did was lower his stock even more. Why do people love this guy? Is it just because Steve Kerr likes him? The inherent bias from so many people who just keep getting duped by what Kerr sells is insane. Oh my God, he's never had a 30-point game. That's wild, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't want misinformation like Steve Kerr. You don't want that.
No, thank you for the correction. And he played 36 minutes, 58 seconds tonight. Steve Kerr's in love with this guy. The broadcast crew, and I love how folks in the media who have to deal with Kerr are genuinely afraid to criticize Podziemski publicly. Mm-hmm. Like Mark Spears, I heard him during on NBA Today on ESPN the other day, and Podziemski's name came up, and Spears, you could tell he's like afraid of that section of the Warriors fan base who just, they don't like hearing negative Kerr stuff. They don't like hearing negative Podziemski stuff. And he tried to sugarcoat it by saying, he could be a starter someday. He could? Like, for who? The Wizards? If they're tanking one year? Like, what do you mean he could be a starter someday? Like, when? For who? Yeah, what more do we need to see here, man? And some people out there are like, he's so young. Like, you got to give him some leeway. Yeah, he's 23 years old. Moses Moody's also 23 years old. So if you're gonna sit here and shed tears for Podziemski and want him to get all these second, third, fourth, fifth chances, also have that energy for Moses Moody as well, man. They're both 23. God damn it. That actually put me in a shitty mood. Like I thought, like there was always like a little part of me that was like, you know what, Podziemski, like he has that in him where maybe he has it. I really thought he had a 30-point game. He's never hit 30 points. That's insane.
The chat is lighting up. They said even Jeremy Lin had 39 points. Someone else said they made a great point that Will Richard scored 30 points this season. Can't get minutes. Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga both had 30-point games in their rookie seasons. And I brought this stat up before. So before the trade, Pods had 68 games of 30 minutes or more. Kuminga and Moody had 74 combined. So, like, that's your investment, folks. That's your investment. That's the future going on right now.
That's crazy,
man. You don't want to get some more. Yeah, like this. And like I'm saying, I like what is great that the Warriors lost. I'm not. It's like it's not rooting for a win, but you just don't want the false hope. You don't want like the false people coming and saying like, oh look, we beat the Nuggets. Look, we're on a run. We're holding off the Clippers. And you can tell that the Clippers, they didn't know scouting. They didn't know scouting or preparation for this game. They were leaving people open. I see why Benedict Mathurin was traded now. He might be a microwave scorer, but he makes some boneheaded plays. I don't know if you've seen the other day, DeJounte Murray just came back, and Murray dunked the ball, and Benedict, he just walks right underneath him, and almost luckily it was like a gentle fall, but he walked underneath him while he's holding on the rim.
Well, you don't like Benedict Mathurin?
After because I watched him a little bit in the finals, but after what I saw today, he doesn't have a good IQ. He just like when he got that what's the charge on Podziemski, or was that Jones? But he did a lot of plays tonight that were just.
I mean, he was second. He did finish second on his team in scoring.
No. He can score
in net rating.
But he doesn't make the like. I think there was one pass where he just drove and got.
He had 4 turnovers tonight. Darius Garland had 5 turnovers tonight. But he's also a young player. Like I'm a little forgiving of turnovers when you're young and you're still trying to figure your shit out. I'll say this: if Benedict Mathurin were on the Warriors,
of course.
He might be the best player on their team right now.
Yeah, he's better than anyone on the Warriors. But I'm just saying.
Yeah,
IQ wise, I can see why the Pacers might have said okay, I understand moving from him because he played a little selfish tonight, and there's very easy passes that he could have made, and that's
he
why
did have zero. He had 0 assists, but he did have 7 boards. He's a physical freak. He shot over 50% from inside the 3-point line, was 0 of 2 from beyond the arc. But dude, 17 points, 7 boards, those 17 points, second on your team in scoring. The physicality. I know the 4 turnovers are an ugly look, but he's also young. He's had a very similar background to Kuminga with the Pacers, where just Rick Carlisle never really appreciated him, liked him. And, I'm going to give him a little leeway, but I also hear what you're saying too, where that tonight, those turnovers are ugly, 0 assists.
Yeah.
But he's also I don't think he's out there to be a facilitator either. He's out there to just be a physical grunt almost. And I thought he did that job fine. It's winning basketball, dude, but I feel you too. I feel you in the sense that.
The reason I brought it up is just because I can see how the Clippers were playing tonight that led to the Warriors getting that lead. Because one thing I can give the Warriors credit, and maybe it's like we call Steve Kerr lazy, but he does have a formula and he doesn't change it. So that's you have it set in stone. So the formula works for people that shoot, pass, and can play desperate. So when you have some kind of system and then you have an unprepared team, because the Clippers were not prepared, they didn't take the Warriors seriously, and that's how the Warriors got to a lead because of selfish play that I was seeing from Benedict early on. But
and the speaker, and again, look, I haven't done my homework on Benedict Mathurin, so forgive me. I will happily claim naivety on the whole background there with him and Rick Carlisle in Indiana. I never really understood what was going on there for him to routinely not get opportunities. Now I need to look him up. Let's look.
Yeah, he definitely got minutes. It's not a comparison to Kuminga. He started. He played heavy minutes in the playoffs and finals. He was probably considered maybe their third best scorer.
Oh yeah. So last year he played 72 games, played 29.8 minutes per game. He's a so-so 3-point shooter, 34% that season. Again, that was his one really full-time role with the team. His rookie year, he also played a decent shot. But look, I mean, he gives you this is his 5th year in the NBA. 4th year, I'm sorry. He's a 4th-year player, and he's a career 16.2 points per game guy. He's he shoots 34.3% from deep for his career, which is above the Mendoza line, so you can live with it. All I'm saying is, Benedict Mathurin, you can find a role for a guy like that on your team. And
I'm not saying that he wouldn't be great on the Warriors. I'm just breaking down this game in particular.
Yeah.
Why I felt that the first half was misleading, because you had a lot of ISO people that weren't working together and making easy passes.
Yeah.
And then later on, Ty, he made some adjustments, got the athletes in, and Benedict, he did score better in the second half. And Garland, this is Garland's first game back as well. So,
and the speaker in our chat, who is saying he's a Pacers fan, saying just trust you, fair enough. Saying he's good, he just didn't fit our team, and they needed a center, and they weren't going to pay him. And look, maybe, and that's the politicking, right? When you got a team like the Pacers who just went to the NBA Finals last year, you're about to have a ton of big contracts. There's a lot of juggling there. So I can understand that if you just didn't want to give him that big contract that he's about to be due for. And they got Zubac in the process. Yeah, the Pacers are going to be very intriguing next year when Tyrese Halliburton comes back. They're a fun team to watch. I mean, look, it's a speaker. I'll defer to you. This is not a fight I'm going to pick because I don't have a strong opinion either way. But all I'm saying is, when I see him, every time I watch Benedict Mathurin play, he's never disappointed me. I've never been left going, oh, he sucks, or oh, he's like you said, he's a low IQ player. I've never really seen that. But who cares, man? It's Benedict.
No, I was just saying, not that things can change. I was just breaking down the game. Even how about this? Just to balance it out, Kawhi Leonard was playing like crap the first half as well. He was doing ISO things, not really engaged. Then he finally
nobody was engaged. The Clippers, the first half, the Clippers came out of the tunnel to start this game looking like a team that just played last night. That's the gist that I got early in this game. And you're right, they had no energy. Like, the Warriors were the aggressors. I don't know if Ty Lue just kind of snapped at halftime. I don't know if the team was introspective enough to realize at the half, like we got to pick up the pace here and pick up the aggression. But damn, did they in the second? It was a tale of two halves, man. Like, what was your takeaway in terms of what was different between the first and second halves? Was it just energy? Because what I don't have a good answer for is what Podziemski was doing so good in the first half that got him 20 points. He just seemed fluky. That's what I always. That's my takeaway.
We have to understand that, like, even say Brandon, Nate Williams. We have to understand that these are, like, this is their job. They go to the gym, they shoot thousands of shots. They are athletes as far as conditioned, and you will catch hot. You will catch fire every now and then as a player that practices basketball all the time. And when the ball's in your hand all the time, and those that are Pods fans doesn't understand that, like, when you're a point guard, you can decide anything that you want to do. You can decide when to shoot, you can decide when to pass. The ball is always in your hand. So in that case, like, you're going to have like a streak of a few shots because, yeah, he does practice the game of basketball at a high level. But does he belong at the level of the top 400 people in the world? Maybe not. But, like, if we go and find someone, playing in Europe, they'll bust anyone's behind on any court and look like LeBron James. So, like look, Brandon Podziemski's closer to LeBron James than we are to him. We can admit that, all right? But as far as him being in even a top 400 player in the most elite league, no. But, yeah, he can catch fire. Just like Nate Williams, a 27-year-old that's undrafted, that's barely in the league, caught fire today and hit three-point shots and for a 10-minute stretch looked better than Kawhi Leonard. Brandon Podziemski outscored Kawhi Leonard. So it's just a matter of just, these are NBA players. You got to respect their shots. You got to respect the work that they put in. But at the end of the day, the law of averages will balance out. So I think the tale of two halves was just a law of averages. If Ty Lue is the kind of coach that I would go in that locker room and I'll say, look at what you have on the other side of the court. There are a bunch of second-round picks, undrafted players, and two-way contracts, and you're letting them bust your ass. Does any of you have any pride in who you are? And once you drill that, like, we're not losing this game. We're not losing the game to a bunch of no names. They shouldn't be on the court with us. Have some pride out there. And I think Ty Lue, he just took out the old guys. He took out Brook Lopez, and also he didn't play Nick Batum anymore. Nick Batum, I feel like he's been in the league forever. But once he took them out, he just put in athletes. He put in players I've never seen before, like that tall center. Yeah, the tall center that's athletic. He's like, just rebound the ball and go at them. So I think the second half was just more of pride in who you are and also better athletes. And then you saw the game turn around. That's it.
Yeah, Nicholas Batum, who often has great games against the Warriors, but you're right. Tonight he looked old and fat and slow and was just ineffectual out there. He only played 6 minutes and change. But the guys who did step up, first of all, Kawhi Leonard, to me, that what sticks out in terms of if you're going to focus on just one possession that symbolizes his night, it was that late dagger three that pretty much sealed the game with Podziemski like right in his face, which was again a friendly reminder. Brandon Podziemski does not have a wingspan that is like NBA quality, right? Like he's Podziemski, I think, is listed as 6'4", and his wingspan is 6'4", and that's the average human. Usually, the average human's wingspan represents their height. But what the Warriors have thrived with are players who have wingspans far longer than their height. Draymond Green, the poster child of this. Draymond's, I think, 6'5" without shoes, but his wingspan is something like 7'3", 7'4". Moses Moody, 6'5", but his wingspan is 7'1". And the Warriors, they were very astute early on in the dynasty to realize that you can make up for these height differentials with these amazing wingspans. So ultimately, when you're going up for a shot, it's your hands going up there, and if they're that much longer, it's going to make an impact regardless. Brandon Podziemski does not have an exceptional wingspan. It's mid. Just like everything about the guy. So 6'4" wingspan, and you have Kawhi Leonard, who stands, I believe, 6'7", just literally dropping a three right in his face. No intimidation. That's how nearly every player acts when Podziemski plays defense on him. And half this game is played on the defensive side. You can't ignore that shit. If you are an exceptional offensive player like Nikola Jokic, that can make up for a lot of the defensive deficiencies. But when you're not exceptional offensively and you're bad defensively, you're just a black hole out there. You are just someone who is hurting your team. And for whatever reason, Steve Kerr just doesn't get that. Now, the Nate Williams part, I do give Kerr credit for playing Nate Williams because I don't know. It's so weird, man. Like, Kerr's just so bizarre in terms of who he like picks out as who he likes as his favorites. Because while Nate Williams, I appreciate the minutes and the run, he's, again, something is very intriguing there. Like, the moment at least I saw him the first time on the court, and the first time I saw him, it was even before he put up a field goal attempt. He just looks like a real NBA player. He's just got a lot of muscle in all the right places that allows him to be someone who can be physical out there. Everything about him in terms of fundamentals looks clean and good. Yeah. I don't know where the hell he was hiding most of his life. I don't know why he was a 23, 24-year-old graduate from Buffalo, the University of Buffalo, part of the New York State University system. That's not a big notorious program. That's where he came out of. He was 23, 24 when he graduated. He's 27 now. And again, if this is a diamond in the rough they discovered, chef's kiss, because we need things to be excited for here covering the Golden State Warriors. But on the same front, the Warriors have another two-way guy. His name is Malachi Leons. And these Nate Williams and Malachi are very different players. There's everything about him is different. Style, physique, you name it. But Malachi has not shown or given me any reason to not get more of a run. I would not mind seeing 6'10", athletic, long Malachi Leons who can actually shoot the ball well from the outside. Why is he not getting the same run? Like, why? Like, great. You put some faith in Nate Williams. Awesome. Can we see that faith with Malachi? Because those two, your two-way players, might actually be two of your best players on the team right now, which is psychotic to say. Yeah, that is the reality of it. And speaking of which, context matters too. Jerry Lane in our chat bringing up earlier that I said Kuminga was the Warriors' best player when he was at best third option. I'm talking about the present, man. Come on, man. Let's apply some common sense here, please. Obviously, I'm not saying Kuminga was better than Steph or Jimmy Butler, but guess what? Neither guy's playing. So on a night-by-night basis, if Kuminga was still on this team, who's better than him? Come on, Jerry. Like, let's be a little sensible here because I do see all that shit. Anyways, Julian, any final thoughts from you?
I'll just say, don't get too excited. I understand that you want to look for something positive, but
so Nate Williams, you're already going to poo-poo it.
Well, I'll give you some examples. Like they're both 26 and 27, and they're undrafted. There's a reason why they're on the later half of 20, undrafted and floating around the league, because there's a lot of physical athletes out in the world that look like this, and they're playing in China, Russia, Europe, and even like Puerto Rico and South Caribbean. So I wouldn't get too excited. The only success story that I've heard of like a undrafted player that maybe came in his late 20s is Jamario Moon. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
I forgot what team he played. I think it was for the Raptors, but he came in, similar story to these guys. He was undrafted, played overseas, worked his tail off to get into the NBA, and then he got a decent contract and played for like maybe 4 years. But his name is Jamario Moon. He was a bit of a leaper and, made his way into the NBA. But that story is very, very rare for a player to be undrafted and then get the Pat Spencer. Pat Spencer doesn't belong in the NBA. And let's be honest about that. And so he's like 29, about to be 30.
He belongs, but he shouldn't be starting. I wouldn't mind him as your like 14th, 15th guy, as a emergency, backup point guard. I could see that being a place. I also hear what you're saying. It's just Kerr loves his below average players, man. And it's a turn off.
Maybe you didn't grow up on this, but there's a league called N1. And they used to have their, ESPN2 show. All of them were just elite athletes, but they weren't good enough to be in the NBA. The only one that was able to make it into the NBA was Skip to My Lou. And so he was undrafted, but he got to the NBA and he was able to have a solid career. So there's phenomenal basketball players out there that just are not
everywhere. Yeah.
Phenomenal to break into the
league. You hear every NBA player say this, that the margins between the best and the worst are this. Like, it's very minimal. Any player on any given night can put up 30, except for Brandon Podziemski. I still can't get over that. But yeah, you're absolutely right, man. A lot of it comes down to fundamentals. It comes down to work ethic. And maybe most importantly, it comes down to consistency, right? Like, you have all these abilities, like you're physically gifted, but can you do it on a night by night basis? And when I say do it, I mean actually go out there, make shots that count, play good defense, don't make mistakes, play winning basketball. And again, another ding I'm going to give to Brandon Podziemski for all the folks that think he's a winning basketball player. How many rings does he have? All right, let him get one ring, and then let's call him a winning player. Because for his entire career, not only has he not won any rings, not once have the Warriors made the postseason, except for last year. Right? Let me rephrase that. Not once have they finished the regular season a playoff team. 3 straight years the Warriors have been a play-in team. You know, and last I didn't see Podziemski playing real minutes in the postseason last year either. So I don't get it. By the way, this guy Adam Adams, friendly reminder, Adam, it looks like you're new here. Keep my name out of the chat. Just a warning, because again, the moment you start mentioning my name, you're baiting, and that distracts from the show. But I don't understand this post either. Adam, I do see you trying to be a contrarian in our chat, defending Kerr, and that's fine. But Adam, A, you're welcome to come on the show if you want, so we could actually have a healthy discourse. And B, I don't know what the point is. Where is okay, you're saying when Kerr was playing 10 to 12 guys, we were complaining. You apply the common sense. What am I missing here, Julian?
The sentence does not make sense, and I'm seeing some of his other comments is like, JK never dropped 40, just like a bunch of random things.
What is JK's career high?
Like 34, I think 34, and that's with like the coach not running plays for you. So
yeah, well, here's one thing I'm very confident of with Kuminga. If that's true that his career high is 34 or 35, whatever it is. Side note, with far less opportunities. I mean, like Podziemski played 37 minutes tonight. I don't remember Kuminga ever once having a 37-minute night ever playing for Steve Kerr. So yeah, the opportunities were not there. But B, at least he hit 30. Yeah. I mean, at least he hit 30, and I'm very confident. Yeah, 34 points against the Clippers on December 27, 2024. He also had 10 rebounds that game. I am confident.
I think he's done that twice, 34 twice.
And what I'm trying to say is, if that's your barometer that you need to see Kuminga hit 40, it'll happen. Don't worry about it. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. 3 games in Atlanta, the kid is already lighting it up. The game looks easy to him. He is an incredible talent where buckets are easy for this guy. I love the fact that Quinn Snyder is enabling him to shoot middies, which actually Kuminga's shooting stroke is beautiful. I've advocated for that time and time and again. The stroke is marvelous. I've heard some people say, well, the release is a little slow. Do you have any memory of his shots getting blocked? I don't. So even if you think it's slow, I have never seen it hurt his game. Dude, it's just with that elevation, with that kind of, here's the thing, Kawhi Leonard's shot is slow, like right. So with that kind of elevation, and Kuminga's shot is very, very straight. And I would suggest anyone, if you want, there's a lot of great Kuminga workout videos that you could find of his work ethic. What he does in games, he practices on. He does these drills where he has a bunch of guys rolling him the ball. He has to bend down, pick up the ball while on the run, and then dunk it over and over and over again, like running until he's exhausted. Then he runs to the corner and he'll nail all the corner threes, and then he'll run around, get a pass, and finish it off with a windmill. That's the kind, and that's just one example. But he has so many great workout videos. You can see, like his game. And you mentioned Quinn Snyder. You probably didn't see the
the game side. But there's a part where
What, Hawks Blazers?
Yeah, no, yeah, well, yeah, I think it was the last game. Quinn Snyder actually he got Kuminga, like when it went regular substitutions, he went to him and he was coaching him. He was in Kuminga's face, telling him this is what you did, or this is what I want you to do. It wasn't like berating, and Kuminga's like, yeah. And Kuminga, you know this better than anyone. He told Kerr, I want you to be hard on me. I want you to tell me like what it is. Coach me, talk to me, please. Just don't bring me out and not tell me anything. So it was refreshing to see Quinn Snyder go over to Kuminga and like actually speak to him and spend time with him, because you can tell, and I know it's been 3 games, but he is popping off the page or the screen more than anybody on the court. And I believe the coaching staff sees that his true shooting percentage is 80% right now. And when you dive into the analytics of Kuminga's game while he was with the Warriors, anytime that he's gotten a real stretch that he was not bothered with, his true shooting percentage is always over 60, over 62%, which is all-star level. And that's, I don't know what kind of analytical team that Kerr has. He's just looking at plus minuses and whoever he throws out there. But what is the true shooting percentages? Because Kuminga, those mid-range shots, like he's 7 for 10, or he's, like I'm not going to try to think of other stats, but it's always very high percentage. So, yeah, let him take a couple of mid-ranges. That's not ruining your team. Like, he had a shot today where Pods went baseline and took a mid-range and he bricked it. But you wouldn't let Kuminga, your 6'7", 40-inch vertical guy, take that shot. And that's the hypocrisy that we saw. So, there'll be plenty of time to talk about Kuminga, but, just kind of like looking at this game. And I would just say great loss. Keep up the losses, because that's the only way that the Warriors will get back to any kind of relevancy is if you get lucky in the draft. If you get like a lucky like the Mavs did with that 1%.
You need that bounce. Yes, you do.
Lose both playing games, or lose one playing game if you're the 11th seed, and then cross your fingers, bribe Adam Silver. Here's the thing, maybe Pods has it good with Adam Silver as well. He's like the darling child. Because when you mentioned the wingspan thing, that's Leonardo da Vinci's perfect man. Your wingspan is the same as your height. But the reason why these people are athletes, like I met Russell Westbrook. I stood right next to him. We're the same height, but I felt small next to him because he's 6'3" with size 15 shoes. His hands are huge, and his shoulders are massively broad for a 6'3" guy. That's why these people are in the league, because they're just genetic freaks. But maybe Kerr's trying to make Brandon Podziemski a star, because just like Steph Curry made all the kids feel, I can be in the league because all you have to do is shoot. I don't need to be a tall or a dunker. So if you can make Brandon Podziemski a star, and the average Joe, then imagine how marketable that would be for all the little kids. Like, I can do it too if I believe hard enough. So anyway, I'll let you go, Cy. Keep up the great work. We're not leaving you. We're not abandoning you. We're
no, I know, brother. Thank you. Well, and just to add to that, and look, the Atlanta Hawks suddenly have a very strong chance of going considerably farther in the postseason than the Warriors. Like, the Warriors right now are all but set to make the play-in, and we'll touch on the standings in just a minute. But the Hawks, I mean, they could be a legitimate playoff team. The point I'm making is that when the NBA playoffs start, we will go live after every Hawks game, because we're going to need to continue having content. I'm also during the postseason, besides having regular post-game shows, whether it's the Hawks or whoever. I mean, it's just we want to talk hoops. And the Warriors season is very likely going to end early, but I'm also going to start bringing on a lot of experts who cover the draft. Yeah. Because let's say the Warriors do tank, but again, their best tanking efforts at this point will still likely not make them worse than, say, 12th in terms of record. So if they don't get a lucky bounce in terms of the lottery, like they're probably going to be they're probably going to have a pick that's somewhere in 10 to 12, somewhere in that range. But I have no idea who's available there, right? So we're going to get a lot of experts coming on to talk about that. Like let's say if the Warriors get the 11th pick in the draft, is there someone solid that far? Like, do you still have what are the odds of nailing a good pick? if you have the number 11, draft slot. So I'm curious.
There's two legitimate point guards that might be available at that time. I was going to say that you might see that I've been posting in the chat, but we're also going to a live of a channel called We Talk Hawks TV. They have over 7,000 subscribers. I'll drop you his email and your email.
Yeah, please do.
Because you can have a little maybe a guest show host and educate them on the background of the Steve Kerr situation with Kuminga, because they're coming in blind and they see it, but they don't know all of the nuances. Like, for example,
they don't.
The 95, the game 7, and others saying that his frontal lobe is not developed, or just kind of like all of the disgusting things that he went through. Because sometimes you just look at things on paper and you say, okay, well, this is similar to that situation, this situation. It's a very unique situation that you've never seen before. And, it'd be great to get your perspective with them and kind of start your crossovers.
Yeah.
Because you're the NBA days now, golden days. You're going to be like the, Locked On Network. We need a dazed network. Right? We need a Hawks
one step at a time, brother.
NBA
One step at a time.
days. You need an expansion, all right?
Well, the good news is we can always at least have a focus on the Warriors, but then branch out, because again, I do not foresee the Warriors getting out of the play-in. Even if Steph somehow comes back, I don't see it, dude. I don't know.
This is the last thing I'll say. And, Sharia, myself, Simon, Andre, everybody, we identified Kuminga, like you, Cyrus. You identified the talent of Kuminga a long time ago. And because the situation is so unique of how he was being treated, 20 minutes per game for Anthony Lamb, and we've been fighting for him. And you deserve, Cyrus, to ride this wave that's going to happen with Kuminga.
Thank you,
right?
man. If there's a wave, yes. Thank you.
It is going to be, because you can feel the energy. Even though the Hawks are less covered than the Warriors, his name is growing faster and faster than when he was on the Warriors. Even though Warriors have more media coverage, you can see on Twitter, or if you go on like FanDuel, Gil's Arena, Baja, all these podcasts, even they're talking about him over and over. And the reason why he's such a polarizing figure right now, it's because of his story. Because at the end of the day, we are all Kuminga. Because if you ever been told that you can't do something, if you ever believed in yourself, if you ever fought for whatever you want to get out any box that someone wanted to put you in, we are all Kuminga.
You know what's crazy, Julian? What I'm learning is there are a lot of people in this world who have never found themselves in that situation. Like, there are a lot of people in this world who have never been in a position where someone above them who held power over them somehow screwed them over. How sad, how crazy is that? I envy them. I mean, bravo. Congrats on winning life's lottery. But it sucks that you apparently have to experience it for yourself before understanding just how wrong it is to have your life affected in such a negative manner, all because someone else holds power due to a hierarchy. It's really screwed up. But a lot of people don't have that perspective. And so they literally will look at this situation and go, dude, Steve Kerr won 4 championships. I don't get it, bro. He won 4. And it's yeah, but he's the moment you start paying attention to the nuances when you really start to see. Yeah,
represents more than a basketball.
For example, Steph the Goat in our chat. He's not someone who apparently understands that perspective. He's bringing up the fact that Kuminga in these 3 games with the Hawks has faced very mediocre competition. And to a certain extent, you're right. I mean, the Wizards are not somebody you're bragging about. Portland, side note, Portland and the Warriors are like a game, are separated by a game or 2 in the play-in standings. Portland also has beat the ever-living shit out of the Warriors this season. The final head-to-head record is Warriors losing that head-to-head 3-1, and the one win was with Portland benching everybody. Avdia was benched. Drew, I don't know if Drew Holiday played in that game. But the fact that Avdia, the Grant kid, they had a lot of players out. Klingon, I think, was out that game. And so the Warriors have that one win. So if you're going to sit here and say Portland sucks, then what does it say about the Warriors that they got their asses kicked 3 out of 4 games against them with the one game that they won against a very injury-depleted Portland squad? it becomes very disingenuous to keep rolling like this. And not to mention Steph, I don't remember you once pretending that the Warriors, when they succeeded with Jimmy Butler, strength of schedule absolutely mattered in that situation too. Like, for example, Steve Kerr kept going back to January. And even Stephen Curry was starting to echo these talking points. Like, we were on a winning track. We started to get there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had 11 straight games in California. 10 of 11 were at home. And all of those games, or at least most of them, were against mediocre. And when I say mediocre, I mean like the bad versions of the Eastern Conference, like Wizards, Hornets, Nets. Like, those were the teams that were in town. I think the Kings were one of the games on that schedule. So, so don't pretend that when the Warriors are playing well within this iteration of Steve Kerr's run, they're only playing well against shitty competition. They're not beating good teams consistently. Mm-hmm. They're few and far in between. And yet you're cheerleading for that, because I know you were celebrating that, like, oh, the Warriors are winning, they're back. Same with last year when they went 23-7 to finish the season. And that incredibly justified Steve Kerr to DNP Kuminga for the final 3 games of the first round of the playoffs. Never mind the fact that last year, the final 30 games of the Warriors schedule, and we already read this time and time and again. Go see it for yourself if you don't believe me. It was ridiculously easy. Those 30 games, that was a cakewalk schedule. So again, don't be hypocritical. Don't be two-faced. If you're gonna pull the strength of schedule, the strength of opposition card to denigrate Kuminga and try to reduce his accomplishments in the 3 games since he's been joined by Atlanta, don't also pretend that the few brief moments where the Warriors were winning games these last 2 seasons weren't also against mediocre opposition. Every time Brandon Podziemski looks good, it's against a very bad team. The moment they play a decent opponent, he vanishes. And Steve Kerr, his system, this is all his now, right? His name is on this stretch of the Warriors. He's the one that has to own this. And every time you look at the strength of schedule for the Warriors, the only time they're winning is against bad teams. So pick your poison. Pick your lane. Either drive in both lanes or drive in neither. But don't ignore the Warriors in general looking average unless they're playing an awful team, if you're going to also criticize Kuminga for that same thing. And again, never mind the fact that Portland, they're better than the Warriors. So what does that say? But the Warriors can't use them? They don't need them? Come on, man.
My last thing I'll say to you, just to go to the point of this is entertainment, but also storylines are very intriguing.
Yeah.
For anybody in life in general, no matter what age. One of my favorite movies is The Count of Monte Cristo.
Okay.
He was talking to a young man. He said, "Life is a storm, my young friend. You will bask in the sunlight one moment, be shattered on the rocks the next. What makes you a man is what you do when that storm comes.
Yeah.
You must look into the storm and shout as you did in Rome. Do your worst, for I will do mine. And then the fates will know you as we know you."
Beautiful. Well said. And that passage basically referring to the tribulations of life in general. Julian Basher, bravo. Where's the applause button? That QR code up there, by the way, goes to one of our many Golden Dazers, Cam, who's trying his best to get a GoFundMe so that he can sit right behind Steve Kerr and be a true fan at Chase Center. When I say a true fan, I mean someone who's being authentic about his team and not just cheering no matter what. He wants to let Steve Kerr hear it. Support the man. That's the GoFundMe right there. That's the link. And by the way, there was someone named Cam in the chat that I had to put in timeout. Friendly reminder, please no hate speech in the chat. Standard code of conduct, right? Don't bring up ethnicities. Definitely don't use N-words. Just keep all that stuff out of your just out of the lexicon, please. Let's not offend other people based on things that you can't control. Very basic ethos of life in terms of how to treat others and be respectful in the process. So again, whoever that person was, I just put him in timeout. You can come back. You weren't banned, but just please refrain from hate speech, meaning calling out in that person's situation, an entire ethnicity of people. Let's refrain from that. We got Allan, Day, Billy, and Kyoko. That's how the show's going to end tonight. Allan, you're up, sir. How you doing?
What's going on? How you doing, Cy?
All right, man. How about you?
Good evening. Good red moon. Is it the red moon?
Oh, the blood moon.
Blood moon. Yeah. Shout out to the blood moon. I'm excited. I may take a nap and wake back up. Check that out.
Can you see, by the way, what B do have wrote in our chat that I'm showing
Nick
on the
Kerr.
Screen right now?
Yeah, don't say Nick Kerr. Nice Kerr. Nick Kerr. Yeah,
Nicholas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
man. What a night of hoops. Man, if you're a basketball fan and you watch this game, and we talk this IQ shit all the time about who has IQ, I'll tell you one who don't. The father of Nick Kerr. I mean, how do you watch this game as a basketball fan? You watch this and you see the Warriors pull out that janky ass defense in the first half, and Ty Lue, they made a quick adjustment, turn this thing around, and Kerr doesn't have an adjustment for the adjustments. Like they literally walked them down. They put Pies and Santos in every action and walked them down like easily. And it's such a shame, man. It's such a shame.
Allan, you played D1 basketball, so you know the sport a little bit. I'm
a little bit. I was never in the NBA, but
whatever. You know the game. You know the game, which says more than pretty much. I'd say 95% of Kerr's apologists. What do you think is going on here, man? Like, is the team tanking? Because I'm starting to get a strong vibe that that's what's really going on.
They're not tanking. I mean, they missed the opportunity to tank. They should have tanked. They should have tanked. It was right there for them. It was no reason to even compete. You clearly didn't have the roster. We knew this team. I would call in with Armando and you guys. I told you, I mentioned this before. The Warriors do not have enough NBA players to compete. I said that from the very beginning. You don't have the pieces. So it doesn't look good. You have $120 million tied up in 3 players who's probably going to give you less than 50 games.
My only pushback to that, Allan, is if the Warriors had followed if Kerr, more specifically, if Steve Kerr had followed the blueprint that was laid out in front of him dating back to last year, and that blueprint, vitally important piece was the JK aspect. Right. If me and this goes back to last year. I'll never forget that 3-game stretch where the Warriors beat a Grizzlies team. This was one of the last moments where they were relevant and still good. Because in case people forget, last year, Memphis, for a good chunk of the regular season last year, were the 2 seed. And so the Warriors played Memphis. I don't know if they're the 2 seed when they played, but they were still a playoff team. And they beat Memphis. They beat the Nuggets. And then they beat the Lakers. In this 3-game stretch, all of them with Kuminga playing significant minutes, nearly all of those games with Gary Payton II out because of injury. And this is where, again, I took zero pleasure critiquing Gary Payton, and it was not Gary Payton's fault that Steve Kerr was playing him over Kuminga. But there is a massive difference between Jonathan Kuminga and Gary Payton. It's almost night and day what these two players are. And Kuminga had a significant role. This team, I think, would have won the title last year. And this team, I think, maybe would be in the running this year for the simple reason that they are 10, maybe 11 deep still, at least before all the injuries. I'm going back to the start of the season. But you look at the fact that Steph is now down and out. Jimmy Butler's out for the year. Kuminga was supposed to be the relief for these guys. So there was not incredible pressure on their shoulders to play heavy minutes and to carry the burden of scoring points that this team desperately needed. Kuminga was that guy to take the pressure off. And what did Steve Kerr do? DNP's his ass.
Well, I would argue man. I would argue that, Si. See, I think one of the problems with that thought is that JK shouldn't have been a relief guy. he should have been a core fixture within this roster.
Fair. That's fair.
You know, and
What I'm saying is, at a bare minimum, Allan, at a bare minimum, you had this star player that you could have at least used. And when I say use, like, he should have been getting 30 plus minutes a night no matter what. That alone was criminal. But if you had played him real minutes, the relief in pressure for Steph and Jimmy wouldn't have come in terms of them sitting on the bench. It would have come. And Kuminga was the third best player on this team before Steph and Jimmy went down. There would have been, like, defenses would have had their heads spinning with those guys all on the court together. How do you stop a three-headed monster of Steph, Jimmy, Kuminga? And then Dre was going to be the fourth guy, and then whoever fits in for the five. That was the blueprint. And defenses would have lost their shit. They were losing their shit. The Warriors beat the Nuggets and the Lakers to start the season with those guys all playing together. What is going, like, Steve, like, dude, Kerr is out of his mind, man. Just ruined this whole thing, all for his ego. It was not because he thought Kuminga hurt the team. It's because Steve Kerr thinks his system is what's responsible for this team's success. He thinks in his head that he's the genius who led the Warriors to 4 titles, not that he had an unbelievable once-in-a-multi-generation player named Stephen Curry who carried all those teams with Kevin Durant for 2 of them, with unbelievable rosters that were 14 deep for all 4 of them, well, at least for the 2 that Durant weren't there. But Kerr, in his mind, thinks, nope, my way is why we win championships. And if Kuminga wasn't doing it 100% his way, then better not to play him. It's insanity, dude. An utter egregious abuse of power and malfeasance. And now we're stuck with this bullshit thanks to Steve Kerr. And Joe Lacob keeps deferring to him, giving him the Greg Popovich treatment. Side note, for anyone who thinks, well, Popovich, like, you know, had basically his job secured for life, winning the 5 titles. Phil Jackson didn't. When Phil Jackson won 6 championships with the Bulls, and that divorce was acrimonious. Pat Riley had 4 or 5 championships with the Lakers, and that split was not pleasant. It doesn't have, like, just because a guy is a head coach of your team and in this case they win 4 championships, doesn't mean you give him job security for life. Doesn't mean you stop holding the man accountable. Joe Lacob is failing as an owner, giving this guy an endless pass. And the lack of accountability, it isn't just Steve Kerr. It's also Draymond Green, and it's also Stephen Curry. This is the environment we see right now, and it's toxic as F-bomb, man.
And it's been that way. It's been that way.
Right.
And you know, for us fans, it should be a lesson learned. If we're basketball fans, if we're true to this, lesson learned that the system does not make the player makes the system. So
100% agreed.
You can't use the lazy excuse that the player doesn't fit the system. No, your system does not fit the player. So you need to make some tweaks and adjustments to make it work, because there's no way in hell that you allow the player of that level, of that talent level, to walk out of the building. You get rid of the coach before you let that player walk.
Yeah.
Because your team will be fine. You know, the Warriors lack a pecking order. You know, if you've been following, and you mentioned this, Sai, about how does anyone feel like, see that it's strange that that Steve Kerr is speaking on GM duties to other GMs? That should tell you right there that more than likely, I don't know this to be true, maybe someone else does, but more than likely that's what forced Bob Myers out the door.
Oh yeah, easily.
Muddling in the GM duties, muddling in my business. This is my job. And it's funny because Steve Kerr mentioned something important. I believe that there is a separation in church and state. Yeah, he told on himself, because you've been muddling the last 5 years. And that's how you lost your GM, who was executive of the year all the years that the Warriors won a championship, while you did not win coach of the year of not one championship. How is it that you've won 4, but you've never been a coach of the year for none of your champions, but the executive of the year, He's been executive of the year several of those years. And you stepped on his toes and he walked out the building.
Yep.
You can't tell me. I'm not like hopefully we're not stupid out there. We're not stupid enough to believe that Dunleavy walks in the building less than a week and his first job was to move Poole out of the building. Okay. There's no way in hell that he pulled that trigger. There's no way in hell that he negotiated that deal. That came from Mr. Steve Kerr. Like you cannot convince me that Steve Kerr didn't make that deal. You can't.
By the way, we have a chat, Allan, just to show you again. This is where the Steve Kerr apologists are just they're almost always casual fans, right? These are people that either never played or maybe they played a little bit, but they don't follow it that much. And Jerry Lane writes, "No, you don't fire Steve Kerr because of Kuminga." And this is where I will push back time and time and again. You don't pick a coach over talent. Ever. That is just bad basketball management. That's bad organizational management for the simple reason that coaches, especially in the NBA, are replaceable. That guy, awful coaching. Like the more I see his rants when they show up because I'm subscribed to him, the more I never disagree with him. And he came on the show, and it was kind of like eye-opening because I expected him to have a little love for Eric Spoelstra and for some of these coaches. He had love for zero NBA coaches. He hates all of them. But I think he's actually right, dude. Like NBA coaches, like for the most part, are just people who have the privilege of nepism and people who like they're hired sometimes for the PR aspect of it or because they know the right people. And what I keep saying and this is a strong opinion, is the best basketball coaches, they focus mostly on not messing it up. They're not trying to put their own goddamn fingerprints on the game. They're not trying to let people know that they're the coach night after night. Their job should be to execute the plan from above and not screw things up. Steve Kerr screwed this up. He's never developed a player, ever, in 12 years. He has no interest in communicating with his players. None of his former players to this day have spoke fondly about him after they left. Nah. This is the guy, Jerry, that you think the Warriors should keep over a player that is not easily replaceable. Coaches, all they do, dude, you know what the difference is between Steve Kerr and me? Nearly $20 million. We both talk. That's all we do. That's all Steve Kerr does. He just talks. And he has the decision-making power of who plays and who doesn't play. And he abused the shit out of that power. He has shown time and time and again, the moment you focus on nuance, he's not that bright. And it's to me, it's a fundamental mistake to prioritize a coach, an NBA coach. They hold a clipboard and talk for a living. Yeah. And you want to value that over a guy with a 40-inch vertical, a guy who has nearly every skill set that translates to NBA success, that is not easily replaceable, and you're going to pick the guy who just talks? Are you using your head? What's going on here? Are you a casual? You must be a casual. Sorry, Allan, to talk over you.
And I mean, listen, we watched the Nuggets do it. I mean, Michael Malone had more success than Steve Kerr in the last 5 years. Got the Nuggets their first ring, and they walked him out of the door. And look, the Nuggets are right there. They're right there competing. Business as usual. Not sure if it was a player. It had to be some sort of disagreement among player and coach for Malone to be booted. But hey, if the Nuggets can do it.
And Allan, this is again where the denseness of the Kerr apology crowd is just, they're so thick-headed. Like Adam here is trying to translate everything I just said into I'm a better coach than Kerr. No, what I'm saying is that Kerr doesn't do jack shit. All he does is talk, and yet people like you have a poster of him on the ceiling above your bed. Why? Like, why do you worship a basic human being who is doing nothing in this world except talk? That's what I'm doing in this world. Talking. And yet
Yeah.
you think he's deserving of nearly $20 million. You think he's deserving of job security over athletes who are damn hard to replicate. And yet you're picking the guy who just talks. And side note, before 2014, I did have more coaching experience than him because I've actually coached once upon a time. Kerr never coached anything before he was just gift wrapped this job in 2014. It's infuriating. And real quickly, the speaker brings up Rick Carlisle, Joe Mazzulla, Ott with Phoenix. Who's Hardy? Will Hardy with Utah is saying they're not replaceable. Kerr is. I'm going to push back and say they're all easily replaceable. Do you think Rick Carlisle is the reason why the Pacers went to the NBA Finals last year? Or do you think it was Tyrese Halliburton? Joe Mazzulla, everyone thought his predecessor, Ime Udoka, was irreplaceable. Oh, guess what? He got replaced. And Joe Mazzulla is doing a great job. He's also replaceable. Ott with Phoenix. Did things get better when he took over for the Suns? Yes. Did they also do a roster makeover so that Kevin Durant, who's clearly toxic everywhere he goes, is now gone? Yes. You also do have some talent on that team. I'm not saying they're not doing, and Hardy, I don't know why you think he's not replaceable. The Utah Jazz are utter shit. What has he ever done to make you think he's some brilliant coach? But the point I'm trying to make here is, like, some coaches, yeah, they're probably smart and they're probably doing intelligent decision making. They're applying that to their teams. But are they replaceable? Like, would you rather have Will Hardy or Lauri Markkanen? I'm going to say Lauri Markkanen, even though that might not be the best example because Lauri sometimes has bad games. You don't pick a coach over talent. The Lakers were smart enough to make that decision with Phil Jackson. It's I don't know why the Warriors don't feel the same way about Steve. I don't know why Steve Kerr is like this is treated like a king. He's got the treatment of a king, man. I don't get it. Coaches are overrated, is what I'm trying to say.
I almost feel like they have some sort of dirt on each other, and which is why they're not really pulling the plug. It has to be something going on in that.
No, I really think it's Joe Lacob just doesn't give a shit. I think Joe Lacob is putting his personal feelings as the resume. Am I still there? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what's again. If Kerr stays after this year, then I feel like something's stinking to high heaven because all the evidence is there to precipitate a change. Who knows what's going to happen this offseason? For folks who are unfamiliar, Steve Kerr is on a year-by-year contract basis. He's been doing this for a few years now. And who knows if he's going to come back next year. I think if Joe Lacob is willing to pony up $20 million for this guy, he's batshit crazy. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I mean the fact that he spoke on this. I mean, it's so many levels of termination that I've noticed. I mean, but the fact that he spoke on KP health issue like that was nasty. That was absolutely nasty. And then, like, in the moment, anyone with a clue knew there was some nasty stuff that he did. And then the next day, I made a mistake. You also made a mistake when you humiliated JK during an off-season contract negotiation, and you spoke on his kids in public on the Monty Poole show. That was disgusting.
Agreed.
You also went on a smear campaign tour, speaking on the punch of the videotape of Poole being exposed was more detrimental to your team than the actual punch itself. Those are fireable offenses. It's like I have no idea how this guy has a job. He's the highest paid coach in the league.
You know what it is mostly, Allan? It's the old adage: perception equals reality, and the perception of Steve Kerr is what's winning the narrative battle.
For sure.
He's just routinely winning. And again, it doesn't hurt that he worked in the media for all these years. He's befriended a shitload of people. He's made it a very a focused agenda to befriend all of the beat writers and all the people in that pool, to speak it like Monty Pool, like, the Danny Emmermans, the Tim Kawakamis, like he is literally, he's on a first name basis with all these people. Kerrith Burke, that's the most disgusting of them all. But I mean, there's no even pretending that she has any journalistic integrity. But and my point is, like, he is literally just convinced the media contingent that, he's more he's than the shiny thing. He's better than sliced bread. I don't get it. If you look at any nuance, it makes me at least think why. I don't get it. Jerry Lane is saying I was talking about replacing Kerr after the 2022 chip. No, I was talking about replacing him after 2023. During the 2022 season. And side note, if someone had called for his head after training camp when Draymond punched Jordan Poole and the way Steve Kerr handled that, I mean, were they wrong if someone said that? But I didn't say that. At least be accurate in what you're trying to project. I never criticized Kerr until 2023. When I saw I saw him playing Anthony Lamb and Ty Jerome, two-way guys who are for defending champions. I still can't believe that. You're the reigning world champions, and you're giving two-way guys heavy minutes. Like, make that make sense. Meanwhile, the two young players who you were starting in the postseason run that won you your fourth championship, they're not good enough. But these two-way clowns are. Like, that is when I really started to question what the hell is going on here. And then I started to do my research, and then I came to this conclusion that, wow, this guy was the right guy for the right job then. Sure as shit is not the right guy for the right job now. Right guy for the right job now. Yeah. But yeah, I wasn't saying it after 2022. It was 2023.
I mean, it's well, if you think about it, so in 2022, that was coming off of 2 years of abysmal basketball. 2022, yes, they won the chip, but if you remember correctly, that season was hell. Okay, that season was hell, and just so happened a bunch of guys got healthy. Poole and Wiggins went crazy at the right time to carry the load until Steph came back and he was feeling good. And I think Draymond and Steph, they returned the first game of the playoffs. I mean, listen, I don't see anything that Kerr did to, like, honestly, there's not one chip where I was like, thank God we have Steve Kerr. I mean, even when he was a player, he was a 6-3-1 guy, you know?
Yeah.
You guys like to argue about, hey, he has 9 rings. This man is a 6-3-1 guy. 6-3-1
Casey Jones has 12 rings. That's always my comeback to that. Oh, 9 rings? That's a brag to you? Then go hang a poster of Casey Jones on your wall. Oh, you don't know who he is? He only has 12 championships. You're bragging about 9. Casey Jones has 12. You want to know why no one talks about him? Because his 8 as a player was alongside Bill Russell. Right. His 4 as a coach was with Larry Bird Celtics, 1 with Wilt and Jerry West with the Lakers. There's a reason why no one talks about that. Because they understood back then the guy was a coattail writer, just like Steve Kerr, man. Steve Kerr is not the genius folks think he is. I think that was one of the most disappointing revelations, is when I truly came to that point of knowledge that Kerr is just not, he's not that bright. He is not. And I do think part of it too is Jeff Riggenbach writing here. I think there's some truth to this too, because Steve Kerr has hitched his wagon 1,000% to Stephen Curry, and Kerr does not like the spotlight taken off of Steph, and that's what Kuminga is certain nights and narratively speaking represented. I do think there's some truth to that too, but it's like, again, okay, so now your focus is Steph and not the team. I mean.
Well, Steve Kerr is not a fan of any player who has a bag. Like, if you have a bag and you believe you can get your own shot, that's detrimental to the offense that he runs. He wants everyone to screen, dive and kick for Steph all game long. It's a dive and kick system. We
Yeah.
talk this. How much IQ you need? No. Jonathan Kuminga is a guy like, listen, bro. Yes, I can drive and kick. Yes, I can screen. But I know I can get 30 million on the open market. And I'm not going to get 30 million being a dive and kick screen merchant for Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Like,
Yeah, I do.
I have a legacy that I want. I want a legacy. I actually want to be a basketball player. When I leave here, I want to have a career because I'm not going to be here that long. Like you look at these guys. Yes, that's why a lot of guys walk away from the Warriors and they don't have much of a career because many of them were screen merchants for Steph. That was their game. There was their game. They didn't have anything left. Anthony Lamb, well, obviously he didn't supposed to be in the league anyway. Let's be honest. You know, he wasn't an NBA player, you know, but you look up and down this entire roster, you probably pick out maybe one or two guys that'll probably make it on another NBA roster across the league.
Allan, Young West, by the way, quoting Dominique, who's been on fire.
Yeah.
I feel like the whole Atlanta Hawks, whether it's broadcasters, fans, like they are ripping the Warriors left and right, and the Warriors deserve it. You gave look, if your ultimate plan was to just give them away for nothing, why did you go through that summer of hell? Like that is one of many instances where I don't understand how Steve Kerr gets a pass. All Steve Kerr had to do was tell the front office, yeah, I'm not going to play him. Like, that's all you had to do, and we would have moved on from this mess. You could have either got something back from him or just clean slate this shit, dude. Instead, you Kerr stupidly tells the front office, I can make it work. He literally said that and gave it 2 weeks. And Julian Basher, when he gave his spiel, Julian, I can't remember if that was, I think that was an email you sent me that I read. Like, it was very, very on point in terms of nailing how the start of the season went and how quickly Steve Kerr abandoned the Kuminga experiment. Like, did not give it a chance at all. Just moved on, gave it maybe 2 weeks, despite the fact they were actually winning and they were beating quality opponents, but it just didn't feel right to Steve because Stevie Kerr is all about his gut and what feels right. He doesn't rely on logic. He doesn't rely on evidence. He doesn't rely on variables that you put together to try to come to a reasonable conclusion. No, he's just all about, does this feel right? I mean, it's no different than like a religious cleric. Let me pray to my God. What does my God tell me? God says you die. It's no different, dude. In Steve Kerr's case, it's just, what are my feelings? What is my intuition telling me? I feel like you shouldn't play. I'm not feeling it, bro. Just not feeling it. That's how Steve Kerr rolls, man. It is the dumbest shit imaginable. And yet an insanely large number of you still pretend this guy's a genius and you kiss his ass. It's mind-blowing shit, man. It really is. Incredible. So Dominique Wilkins, yes, is having the time of his life right now because he's seeing the second coming of himself right in front of him. And the Hawks are about to be a very relevant team. I envy the Hawks right now, man.
Oh my gosh. You know, like when I learned that he was going there, and I knew, because I watched a few of their broadcasts, so I knew that Bob and Dominique were calling their games. I knew in the moment that Atlanta fans were going to be calling JK Dominique 2.0. I mean, if you watch Dominique, you can see some Dominique in this game.
And by the way, Adam in our chat is saying Kerr uses analytics, not feelings. Again, I know you're new. I know you're new to the show. We don't just make shit up here. Everything we say that sounds factual is factual. If I'm expressing an opinion, I preface it by saying this is how I feel or this is me. Steve Kerr himself has been interviewed multiple times. We've played the sound bites. We've read the clips on this show in terms of what his thought process is to make important decisions. He never once answered, I'm going to rely on analytics. His answers come from his words, my gut. And again, this is why, Adam, I look at folks like you who love Steve Kerr and I call you casuals because you casually follow the team. You're not paying attention to the nuance that we break down here night after night. No, he does not rely on analysis or analytics. He's relying on his gut. He literally said that. And Adam, now you're saying he did say uses analytics. He said in an interview one time that Kenny Atkinson's use of analytics is interesting to him and that he's going to spend some time with him to learn it. That was in like 2023, I think, when he said that. And again, he didn't say that he's using analytics for his important decisions. He said he uses his gut for his important decisions.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's the guy that you think should keep his job over talented basketball players that come around sometimes once every 20, 30 years. I'm not saying Kuminga is that level, but we also don't know. That's the part that always frustrated me. I never once came on this show and said Jonathan Kuminga is going to be a superstar someday. I have never made any hard predictions. My entire issue with Steve Kerr, and not just with Kuminga, with all young players, is he does not handle them properly. He does not treat young players with the respect they need to thrive. There's no confidence installation. There is no trust and faith in letting them work through their problems. He literally will play a young player. If they make a mistake, he yanks them. And then people wonder, why does every young player regress when they play under Steve Kerr? It's because he's killing their effing confidence, man. He gets in their head in like 2 seconds and makes them second guess everything. I mean, like it's some wild shit, dude. And again, Podziemski is the one exception, but Podziemski, like all that tells me is, okay, great. So the one young player that he actually thinks deserves like this faith and trust is an average at best basketball player. That's the Steve Kerr modus operatus for you. It's like, oh, hey, because my gut tells me that this kid's special. Like, what analytics are you looking at for Brandon Podziemski that blows you away? He's an average three-point shooter. His assist numbers are shit. His free throw numbers are shit. He's not a good scorer. He's not a high volume shooter. His defense is terrible. So what analytics do you think Steve Kerr is relying on to decide that Brandon Podziemski should be getting the most minutes on this team on a night-by-night basis? No, he's making these decisions with his gut. It's embarrassing. I mean, and Joe Lacob is just apparently has turned into a casual as well, because once upon a time I saw someone in the chat bring up Kelly Oubre and how Joe Lacob essentially spent $80 million on Oubre, and that was the price tag approximately when he factored in the luxury tax penalties. Well, that was in 2020, 6 years ago. What I'm sitting here is wondering, I have no idea how Lacob feels, and he might very well be just livid and is just buying time because he wants to be respectful and part ways on a friendly note. But I don't know what's going on with Lacob, man. But you're right. He did care. I don't know if he cares anymore. I'm someone who judges based on actions, and the actions don't tell me he cares. It's a little worrisome.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's like Steve Kerr. There's no reason he should still be employed, man. And
again, here's Adam. And again, I'll address all this. He goes, Podziemski rebounds. Since when is a rebounding guard what teams are looking for? You know what you want from your guards? You want scoring, you want spacing from efficient shooting, and you want assists. He calls himself a point guard. So why are his assist numbers always dog shit? Not to mention set screens. Okay, like who is not setting screens out there? And pass first to Steph. Well, in case you haven't noticed, Stephen Curry has missed, I believe, 11 games. So when Steph isn't playing, why is Podziemski still leading this team in minutes? When the screen part and the pass first to Steph part, which I agree with you. I think that's why Steve Kerr loves him so much. But when Stephen Curry isn't playing, what value does that bring to the table? Like, why is Podziemski still your number one minute getter? Adam then saying, remember Looney. You mean the same Kevon Looney that now hates Steve Kerr? That left on bad terms? Because he didn't like how Looney treated, because he didn't like how Kerr treated him at the end there? Come on, man.
Well, maybe it's not a now. Maybe he always hated him.
This guy, and just endless excuses. Here's Adam again. Because he's developing him. Is he worth the investment? No. Why develop someone who's average at best? I would say that's a waste of resources, especially when minutes are a limited resource. There's only 240 of them in a game. And you're giving the most to a player who's nowhere near your best? Make that make sense. God damn.
Yeah, it just, I mean, you just look at a guy like Pods, and you know, I told myself I'm not going to be bashing a kid. He don't deserve it. But, I mean, if you look at this kid, it's clear as day that he's probably in the league because he's with the Warriors. You know?
100%.
So,
Yeah.
so you're making an investment in a player. Like, the league is not even, like, this is a copycat league. The league is not even leaning into these connectors and these guys that the Warriors like to keep around. I mean, the league is now a athletic influence league. It's a wing-rangy league. All of these teams out there, I mean, the teams that's going to end up win the championship or even be in the finals don't even shoot a lot of threes. Like, one of the teams that win is going to be a flat-out athletic transition team that get to the free throw line. That can,
But Allan, I don't think you heard the news.
What's that?
I think you missed this very important headline. Steve Kerr knows more than most. Knows more than everyone else.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to know what the trends are. He doesn't need to know what the formula is for success that the other 29 teams are following. He's got his gut, bro.
Yeah.
He's a genius.
Yeah. Sure. And you know what? I tell those folks this, you know, this is Alvin Gentry's system. He left and he took the coordinates with him. And there is a reason why Steve Kerr can't adjust. He don't have the coordinates. He don't know.
He's just dense.
Yeah,
my honest opinion, and this is just an opinion, is that my guess on what goes through Steve Kerr's mind on a routine basis is, I'm one of the best coaches ever. F everyone else. Period.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just, oops, I made a mistake. Oh, well, I'm Steve Kerr. What trouble am I going to face? Like, he faces no accountability. Like he makes mistakes left and right and faces zero consequences for all of them. Like bravo, Steve Kerr. Congrats on duping your bosses to make them believe that everything you touch turns to gold.
Listen,
like bravo. It's fascinating.
If he wrote a book of faking it until you make it, I'm buying that shit. I'm buying it. That's a New York seller. That's a bestseller right there. I mean, he's mastered faking it till you make it. No one is better than Steve Kerr when it comes to faking it until you make it.
Yeah, good call.
That's a skill that I was never blessed to have.
Allan, do you want to take this one? Would you mind telling Adam why that mindset is wrong?
In reference to what?
To Steve Kerr being boisterous and an egomaniacal control freak, and having no apologies for making mistakes and having no consequences for his actions. Adam is saying, what's wrong with that? I mean, are you trolling at this point?
Man, I'm telling you.
What is going on here, man? Again, this is the Kerr apologist group, man. Dense as rocks, dude. Like
I mean, because even at the professional level, you have to be diplomatic. You know,
yes,
you have to be diplomatic. You know, too much power is a weakness.
Yes. I hope that was a troll, dude.
Like,
I really hope that was a troll. Allan, how's law school going? Before I need to wrap the show up. How's law school going?
Well, last week I had midterms, and this week we're back to class. So I am back in class on Tuesday.
Well, enjoy your break until tomorrow, right? Tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Today's Monday.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Monday. Yeah. All right, brother. Well, thank you for joining me as always, man. It is always a pleasure. That I know is true. Always a pleasure when you join us.
Definitely, I appreciate it. Thank you, Cy. Keep up the good fight.
All right, brother. Take care, man. Thank you. Look at Adam still going at it, saying Kerr's the best diplomat in the entire league. Come on, guys. Yeah, the diplomat did a wonderful job with the Kuminga situation. And in case you forgot, the first time Kuminga made a trade request, so did Moses Moody. But he's the diplomat. The guy who has every one of his former players feeling utter disdain for him. Amazing diplomat. He's a good politician. I think that's a more apropos labeling. Billy, welcome to the program. How you doing, man? Good to see you again or hear from you again, right? You were just with us.
Yeah, a couple of days ago, man, for Kuminga's debut. What's going on, man? How you feeling today?
Doing all right, man. I mean, just frustrated as usual. I feel like the Warriors have just been, giving us acid reflux. It's annoying. How are you doing, man? What's on your mind?
Oh man, I mean, you know how I told you how I feel about Kawhi, so I was extra tuned in today. So, I can't say, all of this is to be expected. Obviously, like you guys losing. I mean, the way you guys are losing, like especially with today against the Clippers, you guys went on a good run in the beginning. Pods had a crazy first half. I was like, wow, there's no way he's gonna keep this up. And then he ends up only scoring 2 points in the second half. So that was really funny. But yeah, I agree with what the first dude said about the adjustments Ty Lue made when you took out Brooke and then you put in Yannick, Conan Edenhauser. He's really good. I'm not gonna lie. He was blocking everything. He was changing shots.
He was,
and yeah, he was looking really, really good. And
where did he come from? Is he new?
He's a rookie. He's a rookie from Penn State. Yeah.
Undrafted, I'm guessing, right? Or
no. We got him at the end of the first.
End of the first. You guys had a first round pick?
Surprisingly, yeah.
How did you even have? I thought you guys gave up every pick forever.
So yeah, OKC. I'm pretty sure. I think they have. I don't know how much they have left from the Clippers. I think it's just pick swaps at this point. So
interesting. Okay, so
yeah.
that makes sense. So
yeah.
They got the worst of the two, but hey, congrats. I mean, you're right. Niederhauser looked good.
He's looking like a player for sure.
Yeah.
But, I was thinking this hasn't been brought up, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this.
Please.
What do you think about because obviously Kerr and developing players that just doesn't vibe. That's just not a thing, right?
Not a thing. It's not in the realm of reality. Yeah, it's just. I feel like if you put just the idea of developing a player in front of Kerr, he's just gonna wilt and melt into the ground. It's just not his thing at all.
Yeah, he's gonna melt. I was thinking I want to get your thoughts on it. Why not just trade all the picks you guys have, basically, just full send it while Curry's still there, because he's not gonna do anything with the picks anyway.
For who?
For anybody. It could have been for Giannis at the deadline, or maybe this summer, or just anybody you guys are fond on.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with that idea is Giannis, the Warriors would have done it. And the Warriors did present those 4 first-round picks. The problem with the Giannis trade, the reason why the Bucks hung up fast, is because Giannis had zero interest in going to the Warriors. And he's going to be an unrestricted free agent next year. So the Warriors would have basically been mortgaging their entire future for a guy who could have come in, been injury prone or unhappy, and would have been gone in one season. And we also don't know what Stephen Curry's availability is. The fact that Steph is out indefinitely, that's a massive wild card in all this, because a lot of the planning, based on Steve Kerr's logic, is rooted in Stephen Curry being available. Stephen Curry not being available, it's then what are we doing here? I don't know what the direction of this organization is. I still don't know. It's today is March 2nd. I still don't know what the identity of this team is. They're lost. And when it comes to the idea of trading the picks and being in a win now mode, Matt, two huge issues with that. One, is Steph even worth mortgaging the future? I mean, do we even know if he's going to play? I mean, he's going to turn 38 in a week and change, 39 next year. So at a certain point, you got to move on from the idea that Steph can be a centerpiece of a winning organization. That I feel like that time has come where you can't pretend anymore that you can still win a title with Steph. He's too old. That runner's knee thing is very serious. In case you folks haven't done your research on it, the cause of it is wear and tear. This is literally an old man injury. This is what happens when you get old.
Oh, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. Oh.
So you're talking about mortgaging the entire future for a guy who's 1 minute his neck, his back, his knee, like a guy who you don't even know if he's going to be playing. So let's say you make that trade for Giannis, you give up the entire future, and then Steph's out for the year. Great. So you have Giannis. You basically would have like the same situation, except with Giannis in the mix. And maybe you're a little competitive, but I mean, I don't know. And you wouldn't have Moses Moody at that point because you would have had to trade him to the Bucks. You wouldn't have Podziemski. That would have been a positive. But so and then never mind Giannis. Okay, let's say we're talking about someone else.
Yeah, somebody else. Could
Who
be
else?
anybody.
Who? That's important.
Like, yeah, I'm trying to think of somebody that would fit. Like,
Dude,
personally, like me and you are on the
think
same
about
page
this
it. I
shit,
think it's
man.
a terrible idea, but I
Yeah.
think are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I said, me and you are on the same page. I think it's a terrible idea. The only reason I'm throwing it out is because they want to hold on to this idea. Steph is gonna be able to, like for some, like he's not retiring soon. Like he's gonna be there moving forward for like the next 5 years or something. And that runner's knee injury you're talking about, and like how real it is, it's like it's no surprise with how much running he's done in his career. Like that's the style of play, the system, whatever you guys want.
Yeah,
to call it
absolutely.
He runs like you can. I don't know. He probably runs like multiple miles a game, like running around
mostly
screens.
just 3. Like they've done. They've put trackers on, or at least they've measured the distances. And allegedly, I'm spitballing here, but I believe this is close to fact. Steph on average runs 3 miles a game, and that's not like he's not jogging.
No. He's running full, really hard.
Oh, he's running, man. Like he's stopping, going. He's sprinting. Side note,
those
Jerry
hard
Lane
cuts.
in our chat saying, was Jason Tatum also suffer an old man injury? No, Jerry, you got to be old to suffer an old man injury. Jason Tatum is still in his 20s, so it's just an injury.
They said and Tatum is expected to come back this Friday. That's what they said.
That's crazy. That is crazy. But
Yeah.
I think Jerry is just missing the premise of an old man injury. It's when you're old. Like you got to be old to experience old man injuries. Jason Tatum it's an unfortunate injury he suffered, but he's also
that's a common injury. That's also a common injury. That's also a common injury what he suffered.
Kind of. The Achilles didn't used to be a common injury, and you're right. In recent years, it's slowly become one, and I think the NBA's like hit the panic button on that. That's why Giannis Antetokounmpo, for example, because of a calf strain, has missed like 2-3 months, is because they don't want these Achilles injuries anymore. But game is fast. I also I'm so suspicious of these low top shoes. Like I'm a basketball lifer, man, and I
don't like them.
I don't like that either. It still makes 0 sense to me that players wear low tops, and it's entirely a style thing. But you are not getting the same support on your ankles and feet that you would be if those were high tops. I don't get that at all.
Personally, I think everybody should be have to wear ankle braces, especially if they're not wearing mid top, high top.
There's a negative to that. There's a negative to that, Billy, because ankle braces. The reason why everyone isn't just wearing them in general is because you do want to build the muscles around there, right? Like the more muscles you have in those parts of your body, or any part really, the more reinforcement you have to prevent future injuries. And when you're wearing a brace, you're limiting the development of strength in that part of your body. Now, in Stephen Curry's case, if you have a chronic issue with your ankles, you're going to prioritize that over trying to build muscle in that area. Not to mention when Steph isn't playing, he's still doing that. That's part of his regimen, is focusing on building muscle in that area. But that's the biggest reason why people don't wear braces just all the time, is because you are, in a certain extent, restricting some movement, and that movement in the long term can actually help your body by developing strength in those areas. But I also hear what you're saying too, man, in terms of the Achilles. That's ugly. Thankfully, this year we haven't seen a lot of them. I don't think we've seen any.
No, I think you're right.
Maybe these concerted efforts are paying off.
But also another reason for that trade, the why actually doesn't sound so crazy, but as long as Kerr is there, because all he wants is hustle guys. Steve Kerr.
No, but before that, who'd you say before Kerr?
No, I was just I was stuttered a little bit, but I was just saying Steve Kerr. As long as he's the coach, and as long as you and the last guy highlighted how he doesn't want the shine to come off of Steph and Dre, and the whole team is just constructed full of just hustle guys like Santos, Pods, hosts, whatever.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So it's why you guys aren't going to utilize picks anyways. So it's just a waste. There's no such thing as having talented players because you're not like hard work can get you so far. You need talent at the end of the day, and that's obviously what JK was doing. He was doing like.
Well, you know what? Another problem too, Billy, is and that's a good awareness on your part to see that pattern with the Warriors. Yeah, that is clearly like a one of the high near top variables they're looking at for any player. They want that hunger. They want that aggressiveness, right? And unfortunately for the Warriors, you're seeing other NBA teams also come to the realization, oh shit, that's actually a really important trait for any basketball player is the hunger, is how bad do they want it? And you know, and look, some people have always noticed that, but a lot of people have not. And you also have a lot of people giving NBA front offices way more credit than they deserve. With that said, it is starting to become a very commonplace thing that if you want to be an NBA player, you better be diving for balls. You better be just, you know, like cutting left and right. Basically what a lot of the Warriors players are doing now. Just tryhards, man. Like you got to be a tryhard. But you're also seeing other teams picking up on that pattern in terms of the value of a player on your roster having that mentality. And it's why Darren Peterson, is that his name, the Kansas kid? It's also a huge reason why Darren Peterson is potentially dropping. Like he was a certified number one pick, but all these, you know, we don't know if these injuries are serious, but the fact that he's missed 11, 12 games.
His thing is more of like a hunger motor issue. Yeah.
And that's a flag, dude.
It is, and I agree. But with the Warriors players, my thing is like, and especially with Kerr, you can instill hunger and all that stuff into a player, but the issue is, my issue that I have is when you're trying to limit their role, when you're trying to make them a role player, like force that upon them. Like not everybody has to be a role player. If somebody wants better and they can actually, and they've shown that they can do better,
yes,
let them flourish.
Like, in other words, like trying to box someone in, and
exactly.
and and going back to Kuminga, dude, exactly. I see Sean Marion in you. I see Aaron Gordon in you. It's like
what do you like? That's terrible.
Why?
That's stunting somebody's growth. That's like stupidity, and that was my issue. Like I feel like you have to have a good balance. That's what I'm saying. You can teach people how to be like work hard. Like yo, if you're not playing well, like sit them for a couple minutes and talk to them. Like yo, listen, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. But that you can't just say I only need you to do this when they've, like I said, proven they can do more, like, and a player like Kuminga, which is insane. And like going back to last year, remember, was it that was Curry? I don't remember. Was he hurt that the month of December, or like majority of that month last year? Yeah, 2025.
No, I thought he was active. Why?
He might have been, but remember that month where Kuminga the whole month he was averaging like 22 points, 8 rebounds, like going like he was a catalyst. He was doing amazing, and like all these flashes. And what
it was last year.
More,
yeah, it was last year.
No, last year, but even the year before that, he always had flashes. Anytime he's given like,
but last year is what you're talking about. It was the month of December. He was starting. Dre was coming off the bench, and it was the only month of his entire run with the Warriors where he averaged 30 or more minutes. And damn, did it pay off! And not to mention another very important fact to throw in there because that month was very pivotal in this whole thing. Steph was active. And even though that month was a bad month record-wise, they did not have a winning record. It was also their most difficult month strength of schedule-wise. And when they got out of it, what I'm trying to say is when Kuminga went down with the ankle injury that caused him to miss 30 games, and that was it. I think that to me was, in hindsight, that was the moment when it was really over. The Warriors had a winning record. They were 18-16. So it's not like starting Kuminga was hurting you big picture, you know, like it's that injury was
Kuminga willed some really good wins in the stretches too. Like my favorite was the one I
Houston?
think he did it by himself against the Rockets when they were like the second seed. That was literally one man show. And then when he came off the bench against the Suns with and like Curry was playing then too. Like he looked great. And unfortunately,
we lost Billy.
No, I'm here.
Oh, you're okay. Real quick, Adam Adams, who's relatively new, and I'm having fun with this back and forth here in the chat. Adam's writing, with the Steph and Draymond rules, what would another coach achieve? You're take a step back and focus strictly on the Steph and Draymond rules. A good coach should not have that rule. Get rid of those rules is what I'm trying to say. And like a lot of people are under this idea that Steph like cannot survive without Steve Kerr, which is one of the
Or
most asinine
Draymond,
things
too.
I ever hear. But a lot of people believe that. They're like, well, they're a packaged item. Like you have to have Kerr in order to have Steph. And I'm coming back at that saying bull effing shit for a couple of reasons. One, Steph is a grown ass man, and he's also one of the greatest players ever. I have no doubt in my mind you can plug him in any type of system and he's going to thrive because he's Stephen Curry. But secondly, when Mark Jackson was terminated, Steph loved him. Clay loved him. Dre loved him. None of them were happy about Mark Jackson being dismissed. And life went on. They got a new coach. They won a title. So these are grown ass men who are making shitloads of money. You don't have to treat them like delicate flowers, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, Billy, go ahead.
No, you're good. And I agree 100%. And I'm glad you brought up Clay's name. I was actually going to bring him up later. But it's just crazy to me, like, with the favoritism of Draymond. But then they did not show that with Klay Thompson. Instead, like, he was shown the door in favor of Podziemski, which is crazy to me because, like, how are you picking and choosing, especially with somebody like Draymond? Like right now, Klay Thompson still has value. He was, like, even though the Mavericks have been terrible, he was actually playing really good this year, shooting the ball really, really well. But Draymond, he can't shoot. Like, people are in the paint guarding him, right? And he turns the ball over like crazy, which people criticize Kuminga for, even though his turnovers were not really as bad as Draymond's. And, like, besides setting screens for Steph and then occasional, like, sometimes he plays good defense. Only time I see him playing good defense is against, like, bigs that don't have actual, like, good offense. If it's
Dre?
Yeah, Dre. If it's against like a real big man, he's getting cooked. He always gets cooked. So
and look, and I've said this before. This is my Draymond Green take. I'm not going to blast them personally because he, unlike Kerr, has actually done so much for this franchise. I believe fervently, and I'll die on this hill that the Warriors don't win any of their championships without him. Now, with all that said, in 2026. At this current moment, my take, this is just me, is Draymond has zero value when Stephen Curry is not on the floor with him.
And
Draymond, and look, this is nothing new. I mean, the 2019-20 season, we saw almost the exact same thing when Stephen Curry, I think, played 4 games that year, 5 games.
He
Draymond
was getting
wasn't
himself
doing shit
kicked
that
out of
year either.
games. He was getting himself kicked out of games on purpose.
Yeah, on
I
purpose.
remember
Yes,
that.
exactly.
Yeah,
like he
I
had.
remember that.
So this isn't nothing. I don't know if this is him getting old. Like I don't look. He's not the same guy he was 5-10 years ago, clearly. But to me, it's just if you're talking about a package deal, it ain't Kerr and Steph. It's Steph and Dre. That's the package deal. Dre does not have much value when Stephen Curry's out. So me personally, like if Stephen Curry isn't playing, dude, come up with excuses. Draymond, your back's hurting again, right? Oh, your lower left back. That's what they've been specifying on the injury reports. Yeah, just sit out. Just relax.
Oh, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. Oh.
Just say all that shit, man. Whatever the excuse is, if Stephen Curry's out, let Draymond Green just – what is the point of this? It's never proven to work. Maybe like in short one-game bursts, like immediately after an injury, maybe you might have examples of Draymond actually having good games in Steph's absence, but not over a long run, not consistently. I don't get the point of playing him right now, man. Give his minutes to Malafide Leons. Give his minutes to youngsters who need development. Am I making sense? What are your thoughts on that, Billy?
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole stat on Twitter going around that, like, when he plays, you guys lose, and when he doesn't play, you guys win. It's just like
not a good look.
It's pretty telling. But yeah, like you said, in 2026, catering to him, like, obviously, we appreciate what you did for us in the past, but like letting him like kind of ruin what you have now and moving forward is not a good look, because now you lost Poole because of him. And you also lost like JK because of him, kind of as well. Like him, and that was him and Kerr. The Poole was all Draymond, but the Kuminga was Kerr and Draymond together. Especially with like the Kuminga situation, because people like and I hate this narrative of people saying Kuminga does not fit with Curry, and that is such a lie. When they shared the court together, that pick and roll is so beautiful because he screens, and then if they double, Kuminga slips, and that's a straight line drive to the dunk. Or sometimes when Kuminga is like at a 3-point line and Steph is going to the paint and like Kuminga's man is collapsing, that's a easy oop because he's athletic as all hell. He's like probably top 5 most athletic guys in the NBA we have right now. And like I think like Kuminga fits on any team because okay, maybe he can't shoot 3-pointers the best, but he does everything else really, really well. Like and also the other narrative of people saying he can't defend. I don't know who came up with that. He moves his feet well. He it's wild like this stuff because there was real people on Twitter, like Warriors Twitter, saying he shouldn't even be in the NBA. Like that, like
they're all eating crow now, dude. Those like Twitter has been fun the last couple days because all those ignoramuses, man. They're just like people are making their accounts private.
they're moving the goalposts now. People are saying, oh, they're not real teams. It's just a honeymoon phase. It's blah blah blah. This like. It's just funny to see. Like
it is funny.
It's beautiful.
It's funny and sad because he should be a Warrior and now he's not.
Oh
and
man,
it's just I never thought the Warriors would have another Chris Webber situation again. And again, I'm not saying that comparing Kuminga and Webber exactly. What I mean specifically are the situations that the star and the coach did not get along, and the team stupidly sided with the coach.
I'll never understand choosing a coach over.
God damn, dude.
That's the weirdest thing ever.
That's so dumb, dude.
Especially a coach who's like basically on his way out. Like it's not like he's gonna be there for the next.
Yes.
Kuminga's 23. He's gonna be here for a while. Kerr is on his like last.
That's why I'm really worried about Lacob and how vested he still is as the owner. It's like I feel like Joe just even 3 years ago would have been like stepping in, would have been doing something.
Yeah, Joe needs an advisor. Joe needs like an advisor or something
or maybe he's going to sell and he doesn't care anymore. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. My theory is that he's turning into Kroenke, and maybe his son will become the owner one day, and then maybe his son cares more. Or the worst case scenario, his son's like Jed York, and then you're just completely screwed. But I don't know what. That's my guess. Is Joe Lacob's trying to turn this into like an empire because he wants to buy the Padres, and then he's going to have like a portfolio of sports teams, and then he could have different family members running different teams. That's my guess for what he's doing, and whether that means he's stretched thin or maybe he just doesn't give a shit anymore. I don't know, but he doesn't seem as hands-on as he used to be, and the fact that he waved the white flag on Kuminga, that worries me, man. That really worries me.
Yeah, and the other thing also like. I don't know if you saw this in the beginning or earlier today. There was like a press conference or whatever, or maybe it was a video I saw of Kerr talking about how it made me chuckle. He didn't know about the situation with Porzingis.
We played it at the beginning.
Yeah, I might have saw it then.
It's a 3-hour show, and these shows are going so long now. Side note, I don't know if you folks have noticed, but we started releasing some videos of like clips of episodes. So just in case you see that and you're like, what is that? We don't apply them to playlists or anything like that. We just send them out into the ether, and sometimes people eat them up and sometimes they don't. But we're doing that mostly because these shows go so long. It's like there's no way everyone's getting all the content. So we're trying to pick out like snippets and release them. And case in point, right? Like beginning of the show tonight, we played that clip where Steve Kerr is calling Kristaps Porzingis' illness a mystery. Or mysterious. It's like, really? So what are you trying to tell us? You did not do your research before the trade?
Yeah, with the video I saw on Twitter earlier, he said, I didn't know about it was like, I didn't know about this, but it's like anybody who actually watches the game, like it's clear as day, like, yo, there's something wrong with this guy.
Yeah.
And, like you said, if it wasn't for a salary dump and you actually thought he was going to produce for you, then that makes the trade look even worse than it already is, which is asinine. So I don't know.
It is asinine. You're right, Billy. You all good? Everything else? Anything else? Or
Hey man, just really keep looking forward to these Kuminga. Oh yeah. Also, what are your thoughts on this? This Snyder, like he's not starting Kuminga yet. It's kind of like I don't understand that.
My theory is he's working Kuminga back, and it's partly a conditioning thing. Maybe it's an assimilation thing. Maybe that's just how, I don't know. I've
What do you
noticed
think-
that, and part of me wonders if that's just for now as he's
I
easing
hope
coming
so.
into this thing.
But what do you like in your eyes? What do you think the starting lineup should be? I personally think it should
For the
be,
Hawks?
Yeah, for the Hawks. I think it should be Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Dyson,
Yes.
Kuminga,
Yes.
Jalen, and Onyeka. What do you think?
Who's the fifth guy? Okongwu?
Okongwu, yeah, Onyeka.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Here, let me pull up their depth chart so I can tell you for myself. So hold on, let me first make sure I got your five right. You said Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Uh-huh.
Did you say Dyson Daniels?
Yeah, Dyson at
Okay,
the two.
Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, Jonathan Kuminga, Okongwu.
Yeah. And
That's
with
my
the
5-2.
four, yeah, the 4 and the 5, it could be Kuminga.
That's
at the 3.
easily my 5-2. And then you bring CJ McCollum off the bench.
Exactly.
Corey Kispert off the bench, Gabe Vincent
Exactly.
off the bench, Riso Shaw off the bench, Jacques Lindell off the bench. Who else is on that team that has talent? And side note, Quinn Snyder took him all of like not even a day to realize you don't play Buddy Hield.
Oh yeah,
Like, ever.
He's not even
You
like
don't
I don't
play
even think he's not even seeing garbage time minutes.
He's not seeing any time. That's how you treat your shitty players. You don't play them
at all. Yeah,
They go at the end of the bench.
it's crazy, but no, I'm enjoying these Hawks, and like I just love how Kuminga's getting embraced by the Hawks fans, and like it's beautiful, man. Like to see him smile and get his joy back is just I can't wait until the 21st. Like that's gonna be.
Yeah, Ed Marsh in the chat saying is the Hawks watch party still on March 21st. That also segues into Julian Basher for the $2 donation. Thank you, sir, who wrote earlier in the program that Armando Laura, who joins us every Friday for happy hour, wanted to jump on. Armando's the host of Spreewell, was right. And again, Julian, and this goes for anyone else. First of all, I appreciate you because Armando is welcome anytime. But then Armando himself jumped back and said, it's all good, Julian. He's got Friday. And just adding to that, if Armando ever wants to come on the show and it's not Friday, he has my number. All he has to do is text me and I'll send him the link in like 2 seconds. So I think, and I think it's safe to say Armando knows that as well. But Julian, good looking out for the professor. Danielle Board-Garay, $2 donation, writing that she or he, I'm guessing she, pissed off that we got rid of Jonathan Kuminga. What the hell were the Warriors thinking? That is a question I think we all want the answer to, but we're not mind readers. And Steve Kerr is rarely, if ever, genuine and honest with the media, let alone the public as a whole. Joe Lacob has been hiding from the media. He's done one interview in a year, and that was with the Warriors propagandist, Tim Kawakami. So not a real interview is what I'm trying to say. Mike Dunleavy Jr. hides from the media. He rarely, if ever, engages with them. There is no transparency. We have no clue what's really going on there, what the plan is. The only thing we know is that they want a clean slate in 2027. That's all we know. Why they want a clean slate in 2027? That I don't know either. Because if they have a pipe dream that free agents are going to be coming here, what do you base that pipe dream on? Free agents don't come to Golden State. That is wishful thinking. That is not pragmatic. So I don't know why the plan is clean slate 2027. That's the only plan we know of that the Warriors want to do. I just bit my cheek. Beyond that, I have no clue. I don't know what they were thinking.
I'm glad you brought up the media. I almost forgot. It's like you brought this up too. I don't know, like the amount of power and like fear that like Steve Kerr puts in these people's hearts is like it's the weirdest things because like I see other like post-game press conferences and coaches are getting grilled, getting asked tough questions. With him, they don't ask him nothing crazy. Like they don't put him on no hot seat. It's the weirdest thing ever. Oh, you're muted. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Thank you for that. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's pathetic. It's sad. And it's a combination of the sycophant nature. Steve Kerr has literally befriended these guys, and so they look at Kerr as a friend as well, and they'd rather just publish positive coverage, and with the hope that they maintain that relationship long term. I mean, so maybe Steve Kerr one day gets him a job. I don't know what the end game is there, but they'd rather swallow their journalistic integrity and push out puff pieces that make him look good. That's what they're doing. It's sick. It's disgusting. It's revolting to me. I hate it. And then the other part of it, though, is this is just the media as a whole, where you have less and less schools even having journalism programs. Like, I used to be a full-time professor, man. I'm teaching like one class now, and I might not even teach that anymore because people aren't going to school. Enrollment numbers across the board are down, and the kids who are still going to school are primarily majoring in jobs or in majors that can produce jobs, right? And these usually are STEM classes and STEM programs. And so journalism, the job market's a disaster. So no one wants to go and get into debt, wasting money on tuition to study journalism. So you don't have a lot of applicants. The media organizations themselves aren't making any money, so they can't hire the best talent. They can't offer lucrative salaries to get people that actually are smart and gifted. They're left with mostly like kids of broadcasters and just kids in general who are just hungry. I feel like the hunger thing is either that and nepotism is what's driving today's media industry. My point is, so you're left with like this pool of reporters who either are Steve Kerr's buddies or are kids who have no idea what they're doing. And the end result is you get zero probing questions, you get zero investigations, you get zero questions that actually pique your interest in terms of getting answers. And Steve Kerr is just riding this all like a beautiful golden wave, man. It's incredible. I mean, look, Steve Kerr, props to you. Like, you won. You're the big winner here, man. You have everyone kissing your ass. The only person questioning you is me, and I'm only at Chase Center like 2-3 times a year, and I only get to ask one question when I do get a shot. And I don't want to risk my credentials, so I'll try to be pointed with it, but I'm not going to be like an asshole either. I'm not going to go, "Hey, Steve, why did you name your son Nick?" Like that would probably make me lose my credentials. So, but I thought I asked a decent question last time I was there. I hope I did. I asked him about all his different starting lineup combinations, but yeah, man, it sucks. The media's in a bad place. The Warriors beat is a disaster. Kudos to Steve Kerr for literally taking full control of that. It's crazy.
Yeah. Where do you see like this going, like moving forward? Like, let's say you guys fall out the play-in, and then it's like next year, I guess, because Jimmy's not back until what, like January, February, and then
dude, it's crazy. People are even like bringing that up. Is Jimmy Butler going to be good when he comes back?
I
mean, he'll be good, but I mean, is he going to be the type of guy that you can where he's a $56 million like top 2 or 3 player? Like I
mean, based on when he's projected to come back, I don't even think you guys are going to be like good enough to, you guys might not even be like competing.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm with you. I'm with everyone else. I'm fascinated to see what this team does in April when the season ends. The final game of the year for the Warriors. Let me pull. I actually have it on my phone right here. It's so the Warriors season ends on April 12th. And so I'm guessing the play-in tournament games will be April 14th through 16 or April 14th through 17. I don't see the Warriors getting out of the play-in. I could be wrong on that, but my guess is they won't. And so their season's going to end around April 17th. And I think we're going to find out a lot the following week after that. Like, we're going to find out if Kerr's coming back. We're going to find out, if roster-wise the team's going to
I mean, I'm assuming Draymond's gonna he's gonna definitely opt into that contract for sure.
Maybe, but there's also the possibility that he maybe opts out because a team out there might be willing to give him like a 3-year, $45 million contract, right? Like a lower annual payment short term on a year-by-year basis. I'm sorry, like it's lower annually, but he's getting more guaranteed over the 3 years. He might do that.
I see what you're saying, but I feel like that could low-key be wishful thinking. Like because that would be the best case scenario for you guys for sure if that happened.
Well, here's the shitty part: if Draymond does that, and the Warriors would still be over the cap,
even if he opts out.
Well, if he opts out, like let's say Draymond opts out and he signs with like let's say he signs with the Lakers, 3 years, $45 million, right? The Warriors are still over the cap.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So that's why I'm not like, for me, it's like if Steph's going to be back next year and all signs are he's still under contract, like you might as well have Dre with him. But I just like if that's what he wants. But I don't want Kerr back, and my biggest fear is he's going to come back into the year. My hope is that the front office will see what a colossal blunder it was to give Kuminga away for nothing, coupled with the fact that Kerr himself is making nearly $20 million a year, and that is a bottom line fact that could bother ownership. They do care about the money they spend, and that's a lot of money for a head coach. So maybe they move on from Kerr. So at least we have a year with a new coach where we can see if this guy's the right guy. And, if it doesn't work out, it's a 1-year experiment. And then you just blow the whole thing up for 2027. I'm riveted. And I'm excited that there's actually a draft pick. It's been a while since we've been excited about that. I mean, the Warriors' last first round draft pick was Podziemski, right?
But that's what I'm saying, though. As far as like the draft pick, you might as well let Kerr make the pick himself so he's satisfied with it, Like, don't let Dunleavy make the pick, because if Dunleavy or
I don't want Kerr doing it. I'd still rather have Dunleavy making the pick than Kerr.
But that's what I'm saying. If it's a talented player,
if it's
a talented player, you're gonna see the same situation.
But it would only be for 1 year.
That's true. Like, it's funny because the people that hate on JK or I've seen somebody that was hating on JK early on Twitter saying that, I wish we could get AJ DeBonsa, but it's like, they have the same play style. Kuminga and AJ literally, they worked out together in the summertime. Like,
that's one of many reasons why. Look, if the Warriors end up getting a high draft pick, that to me is the exclamation point for moving on from Kerr, because
I hope so.
Absolute last thing I want is some young prospect getting poisoned by that man.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm with you on that. But with that said, though, I mean, look, if Steve Kerr does come back next year, it's only for a year. Like, I'm confident next year, if he comes back, would be the last year. I don't see like Kerr's era, his reign continuing beyond that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'd roll the dice on Dunleavy picking the best player, and then just hopefully that that talent will not get ruined.
Also,
under Steve Kerr.
Also, like there needs to be conversations had about Dunleavy losing his job too, because like as of now, you traded Poole for washed up CP, you trade JK for non-existent KP, and it's like
you draft Podziemski, you draft Trace Jackson Davis, who's gone, you draft Quentin Post, who's essentially phased out, you drafted Alex Tui, who's not even on the team anymore.
Yeah, so
you traded for Chris. Did you say Chris Paul?
Yeah, you trade Poole for Paul and you trade Kuminga for a KP. That's what I'm saying. It's like, who's to say even if you like get a high pick, he's gonna make the right choice? Like I don't trust him at all. So it's like there's not really any like it's rare to see like teams with absolutely no bright spots at all. Like the Kings have no bright spots, the Bulls, the Nets, and it's like you being bunched up into that group is just like it's kind of sad.
Adams in our chat saying Steve Kerr is coming back. And all I have to say to you,
fuck you.
Yeah, just get that shit out of here, man. Don't come on, man. Just don't do that. Don't do that. Look, he might. Let's not manifest that into reality.
If he comes back past 2026, 2027, man, that's bad, dude. That would be sick.
It would be disgusting.
Yeah,
it would be revolting.
So, but
all right, man. Billy, hang in there. Look, misery loves company. At least we're commiserating here together, and we're live always. So
yeah, but I want to be back for sure. If you definitely have any more, if you have any like,
we're not going anywhere, man. We're on the verge of possibly getting a new sponsor on top of FanDuel, dude. We're just at the beginning of this shit. So don't worry, we're never going anywhere.
I'm talking about for Kuminga watch parties. So
well, March 21st is when the Warriors and the Hawks play. And Armando Laura has the details on that. I forgot the name of the place. It's somewhere in Oakland. I forgot what the name of it is. Join us Friday or subscribe to Spreewell was right. He can inform you.
Yeah. Also,
if
like
he's still watching, he can maybe tell us.
Are there any ways I want to join where we can debate with other people? Like when you have those 3 people panels, I like those too. So
cool.
But specifically for like Kuminga, especially, man, that's when I love talking about.
God damn it! Look at Adam in our chat again saying he guarantees.
Yo, what's this guy's problem, bro?
Oh, hey, you.
Is he just a troll or something? Do you know this guy?
No, I don't know him. He's new and he's having fun right now. He's having fun.
Definitely, but
I'm telling him to F off at the same time with clips. So we're having fun with each other. Billy, have a great night, man.
You too.
Thank you, brother. That is Billy, not Billy DeBono, who's with that awesome band, Decades, longtime sponsor of our show. Hopefully we'll have him back someday, I hope. Hope Decades is thriving out there. Billy DeBono, you're missed. And we're going to wrap the show up now. Without further ado, let's play the open and enter the danger zone.
Stay at home, son.
Oh, Shardal, how are you doing, bud?
Hey, Cy.
Hey.
I'm doing great. How are you
Good.
doing?
Doing okay,
As the
thank
Golden
you.
State Warriors suffer a 114-101 loss at the hands of the Los Angeles Clippers, what were your thoughts on the performance of the Warriors? I mean, it was brutal. I mean, the Warriors were trail 14 points at the end of the third quarter, and at halftime, they collapsed. I mean, it was like the Warriors always do this. They have a big lead, and then in the fourth they collapse. I'm like, what is up with this team? Why do they keep doing this inconsistent
Sons
stuff?
of bitches.
What is wrong with them? What is wrong with this organization? I mean, the Warriors are a really good organization, but when they're inconsistent,
There's a lot wrong. Shardal, let's get to the scores and call it a night.
Warriors get their second straight loss in a row.
How's your YouTube channel doing? What are you up to?
My YouTube channel, I'm at 532 subscribers. I'm on the road to 600.
Yeah, you're getting there, man. You gained another one. You know what's funny, Shardal? From the time you started as our closer to now, you had below 500. So you're slowly getting there. It's like a tick, 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 tick kind of thing. But you're getting there, brother. You're getting there. I'm proud of you.
But the Warriors have to work on it, because what they're doing right now, they've lost their second game in a row. This is the Warriors. This is not going in the right direction.
It is not.
They lost to the Lakers.
Yeah.
And then they lost today. So what is going on with this team? Can you please explain to me what this team is doing and what is not working with this team?
Shardal, wait until they play Houston and OKC on the road. If you thought these were bad, oh my God. Wait until these next two. Yeah, it's not fun, Shardal. It's not fun. But what might be fun and might give you some direction, I think you mentioned last time you were on the show that you have a dance recital or some sort of dance thing Tuesday, Wednesday this week, right?
No, on Tuesday.
Is it just a practice? Like, what is it exactly?
No, it's a lesson. It's a full-on lesson.
How many instructors do you get the lessons with?
You can pick every Tuesday. I can pick an instructor that I want. Just call the number to the studio, and you tell them what instructor you would like, and they'll schedule you with that instructor.
Do you have a favorite instructor that you always go to, or how
I
does
like
that work for you?
I like all the instructors. I don't have a favorite one.
So you don't request a specific instructor, you just leave that blank?
It's not, I pick a different one. I mean, some days I pick the same instructor. Other days I pick a different one. Maybe I want a little change in the routine.
So the one you're gonna have the instruction with on Tuesday, what does she look like?
She's African American.
How tall?
She's very short.
Okay, skinny, a little chunky. How are we looking body type wise?
Good figure.
Okay, well that's good. Do you like her?
I like her.
Because you just got to remember, when you're dancing with her, you can't have none of this, right?
She has an afro style hair.
Okay, well, that doesn't matter. But when you're dancing with her, you just got to keep it in the pants, right?
I'll keep it in the
can't have that
pants
going on.
when I'm dancing with her.
But you told us once that sometimes when you do these lessons, you do
So,
go.
like, there's an extravaganza, which is like Dancing with the Stars format. There you can be all flamboyant and grind if you would and grind if you would like.
Billy DeBono dropping $1.99 in our chat, saying, "I love you back, Billy. Love you, brother." And I'm glad to hear Decades is doing well. Reach out to me. Yeah, good to hear from you, Billy. Always a pleasure. Do you remember Billy DeBono? Do you remember the band Decades, Shardal?
I remember the band Decades. Don't they
Best
perform?
cover
At,
band on
don't
the
they
planet?
perform? Don't they perform at Great America at Red Zone Rally?
Yes. Good knowledge. Good knowledge. Have you ever been to one of those?
I've never been to a red zone rally.
Are you
They're
ready to
very
go to the
they're very expensive red zone rally.
expensive? You got to pay to. I thought it's free.
No, you gotta pay.
How much?
It's a lot of money. It's like $115.
Well, I think it's worth it because you get a chance to listen to decades and.
But
music from
the
50s
problem
to
with
now.
me going the problem with me going to red zone rally is that you only get to go on one ride at Great America Flight Deck. The roller coaster at Great America, you get to only go on one ride during red zone rally because they only keep, because for red zone rally the rest of the park is closed off. They only open up that other side of the park for the guests.
Aren't they going to close the whole park down soon
No,
permanently?
in 2020, in 2027, they're gonna close the whole park down.
Are you?
When they have decade, I'm very bummed. I wish they don't close this park down. It's all families have been bringing their kids to this park. This park has been memorable to all families and all kids. And if they close it down, it'll be very heartbreaking to me. If they
What are
close
you going to do?
I'm probably gonna go to Six Flags or something in Vallejo, but I don't want to move from the Fremont area. If I go and work at Vallejo, then I have to leave. I have to sell my house in Fremont and go and get a house in Buena Park.
Well, hold on a second here. You own your house in Fremont?
No, my parents own it, but I'm saying that if Great America closes, I might have to sell my house and then go and get a house in Buena Park. Because if I move there.
Don't you think the more likely scenario is you just find another job and you'd stay in Fremont?
No, but I want to work in a theme park, and that's my job, and I don't want to work anywhere else other than that.
Gotcha.
That's my favorite.
That's your thing.
I love working there.
But what do you love more, working in the theme park or being a stay-at-home son?
Being working at the theme park and being a stay-at-home son.
So it's a tie.
It's a tie.
I'm a stay-at-home son.
You ready to do some scores?
I'm ready to go over the scoreboard and wrap up the show for tonight.
Beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. All right. A light slate of games on this Monday, March 2nd. We start in Washington where the Wizards hung on to defeat the Wizards. Houston was in 10. That's the Warriors' next opponent. 123-118 the final. The Rockets improving to 38-22. The Wizards dropping to 16-44. And for the folks out there who want to hate on the Wizards as being mediocre opposition that you don't judge a player on, well, they almost beat the Rockets tonight. Okay, it's Wizards. Wizards suck. The Boston Celtics, 108-81 winners tonight over the Milwaukee Bucks. This was Giannis Antetokounmpo's first game back after missing a whole bunch of games. Peyton Pritchard, 25 points, 9 assists in the win for the Celtics. They improved to 41-20 with Jason Tatum on the verge of coming back. The Bucks dropping to 26-34. Giannis, 19 points, 11 rebounds in his comeback. Yes, Shardol.
So Trae Young played only 0 minutes and he got ejected. That is the most ludicrous thing I've ever seen. Is that Trae Young only played zero? He didn't play any minutes and he got ejected. Like,
correct.
what is up with that? You play no minutes and you get ejected. You get ejected from the game and you never come back. What is up with that?
He wasn't even in uniform, but you are correct. That is technically a stat. And that's his first stat as a member of the Washington Wizards.
That's so funny. Yeah, that makes me laugh.
It does. It's funny.
That's funny that he got his first ejection and he played no minutes.
It is funny.
And his first member as a member of the Washington Wizards.
And one more score and we're done. And this is an opponent the Warriors will play at the end of their 3-game road trip. They're going to be playing the Rockets Thursday, the Thunder Saturday, and then the Utah Jazz early next week. And Utah tonight came just short of upsetting the Denver Nuggets. This was in Utah. The Nuggets 128-125 winners to improve to 38-24. The Jazz dropping to 18-43. Jamal Murray, 45 points, 8 assists in the win. Keontae George, 36 points, 4 steals in the loss, and that's your scoreboard. Chardal, what
So
do we
Stephen Curry will not be playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Stephen Curry will not be playing against the Chicago Bulls. And then Stephen Curry will not be playing against the Utah Jazz, who will miss all of those games due to the runner's knee.
Chardal, Nick the Greek in our chat. And Nick, you said something else there. Hold on real quick. Nick earlier said, has there been any discussion about Steve Kerr's contract? He needs to be shown the door. No discussions until the offseason. And he's currently on a 1-year deal. We have no idea what's going to happen in terms of Steve Kerr's future. You do have someone in the chat, Adam Adams, who's willing to bet money, like real money, that he's going to be back next year. So, Nick, if you don't think that's the case, put some money down. Now, Nick, also Chardal, I don't know how you feel about this, but he thinks you're cute. We don't discriminate on this show. So if that's how you roll, Nick,
that's a
compliment.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Nick. That's a compliment. I really appreciate that. You're giving me compliments on this show. I really appreciate that. Thank you a lot for the positive compliments. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I mean, I love it. You keep bringing the compliments. I really appreciate it. Keep bringing it.
19 Chardal wants to know, how old are you? You sound
I'm
young.
not a kid. I'm 29 years old. I'm not a kid.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so you answer that.
I'm a kid in a grown man's body.
Okay. And then Adam Adams wants to know, are you a she or he?
I'm a he.
Okay, that's what he asked. Adam Adams, come on.
Why do you ask that question?
Ask him that. I don't know. I didn't ask
Adam,
him.
why are you asking that question?
Well, maybe because you sound kind of young, right? So maybe the young voice threw Adam off.
I'm 29.
Chardal, promote your channel one more time and let's wrap it up. Say bye to the audience and close it.
So I'll give my score predictions for the
Warriors Rockets.
Warriors. I'm going Warriors 155, Rockets 100. Viewers, make sure to subscribe to Golden Days in reference to the Matthew McConaughey movie Days. Viewers, make sure to subscribe to the 1996 Matthew McConaughey movie Dazed and Confused.
Real quick, Chardal, real quick. Did you go on 95.7 the game tonight? I forgot to ask.
I went on 95.7 the game.
Who's the host?
Evan Giddings.
Oh, you're happy.
I'm happy.
So you weren't blacklisted. Your favorite host was hosting tonight.
So they heard about what happened on Saturday with the Lakers and Warriors on 95.7 the game. They apologize. Mark Grandy and Evan Giddings. They accept my apology. They know that I was getting a little furious in the moment, and then I'm not blacklisted from calling into the radio station.
All right, good to hear. How long were you on were you on with Evan tonight?
Couple of minutes, 5 minutes.
What'd you talk about?
I talked about the Warriors, and I talked about the Warriors and Clippers game and what my thoughts were about the game. And I kept it vanilla, but I have to keep it more. I have to add more stuff to it. My intro is always very vanilla.
Okay, vanilla's not always bad.
Sure.
Vanilla's very good, actually. All right.
So
Well,
viewers,
I'm glad you're not blacklisted. That's important.
Viewers, make sure to subscribe to Golden Days in reference to the 1996 Matthew McConaughey movie Dazed and Confused. He's at 5,220 subscribers. He's 780 subscribers away from 6,000. I'm at 532, and I'm on the road to 600. So if you like both of our channels, please subscribe to the SGA Sports Talk channel and also subscribe to Golden Days if you like Golden State Warriors content.
It ain't an either-or situation. You can do both. By the way, did you become a Golden Dazer today again? Like you re-upped?
I re-upped my membership to become a Golden Dazer.
I love it. Another round of applause for Chardal Gupta. The loyalty, the support. You're good people, bud. You're good people. Thank you.
It's always an honor that you make me the closer to wrap up the show every single night.
Honored.
And I come
honored. We're honored that you are closing for us. The honor belongs to us. Thank you, Chardal.
I'm looking forward to joining you for the Golden State Warriors and Houston Rockets post-game show. Hopefully the Warriors break the losing streak and go and get back on the winning track, because that's what I would really love as a Warriors fan. But I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you for the Golden State Warriors and Rockets post-game show here on Golden Days.
Beautiful. Chardol, thank you. And one last note: we likely will not have a show tomorrow or Wednesday. I might have to do some traveling, but there's no game. If something happens, maybe I'll go live on the phone. I don't know. Regardless, we're back at the absolute latest Thursday. Friday is happy hour with Armando Laura. The Hall of Famer Rick Barry is going to be back with us very soon. Always love having one of the greatest Warriors ever join the program. And Chardol, tell people bye one more time, please. I'm sorry, I stepped on your toes.
Viewers, thanks for being in the chat. Posting really great comments for Sai to read.
True, that's a true story. Bravo to the audience. You're right. This show is not what it is without that. Yeah.
I really love the audience because the audience blew up the chat today. They were putting all these comments in the chat.
Agreed.
There were too many comments for Sai to read all of them.
There were a lot early on. You're right. Yeah.
And it's kind of hard. Sai cannot get to every single comment, so
he
does his best job to get to every single comment that all the viewers post in the chat.
Real quickly, I forgot to do one thing here before we go. Hold on one second.
Letters, we get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters.
We got to get to the mailbag 1 second before we go, just because Yoko Nakagawa emailed us, and I want to get to this now instead of waiting until Thursday. Chardol, do you mind real quick?
I'll stay on a little longer.
All right, just for a second longer. Yoko writes, "Hi, Sai. Love your show and the community of true Dubs fans who don't appreciate being gaslit by Steve Kerr in the front office. Thank you. I especially enjoy the takes from the guests like Armando and Evan." Gentlemen, I hope you heard that. I know you mentioned that you did a program with Swish Culture before, but it would be great to have him as a guest or a joint broadcast. Agreed, and we're in discussions. Swish is very busy, but him and I are very cool as well, and he'll be back on soon. Hang on. So to finish this email, with Kuminga ascending and the Warriors tanking, there are finally cracks in the Bay Area media beginning to develop, like Scott Foster's opinion piece titled 3 Signs the Warriors Would Never Show Up as Contenders This Season. And maybe more importantly, Greg Papa was on KNBR saying Steve Kerr needs to go. Is that true? Keep up the good work. Best, Yoko Nakagawa. Chardol, are you aware of that? I feel like you're on top of the radio dial a hell of a lot more than me. Did Greg Papa say that? Greg Papa called for Kerr's head?
Greg Papa said that.
Well, what do you know? Some people do come around.
So if you're a big fan of South Park, I have an episode that you would love to watch. It's called A Teacher Bangs a Boy. And then it's about
why would I love that? Why is that
Brovlowski, Kyle's younger brother, and it's a really funny episode. And the teacher is having an inappropriate relationship with Kyle's younger brother. It's one of the funniest episodes you ever watch. You should watch it.
Well, that's the one.
And Ike doesn't know how to talk. So whenever you watch that episode from South Park, he always speaks in baby language because that's the only way that he can communicate with other people.
First of all,
it's one of the funniest episodes you ever watch. If you watch it, you'll laugh your balls off watching that episode. I watched it already in my free time. I was laughing my ass off watching that episode. I'm a big South Park fan, just like you are.
I know every episode by heart. I know exactly the episode you're talking about. Firstly, in case I forgot, thank you again.
You know the episode I'm talking about?
Nakagawa, for the email. In regards to that episode, isn't that the same episode where
it's a mother bangs a boy? So it's basically about it's a teacher bangs a boy. So a teacher having an inappropriate relationship with a student, and everybody when you watch the episode on South Park and you watch it, all the students in the school are surprised, are actually horrified that a teacher is having an inappropriate relationship with the baby.
Ike is very little, and yes, Ike, the very tiny little kid, is having an
appropriate relationship,
or not an affair, like a romantic relationship with a teacher.
With their teacher.
Yes, it is funny because Ike's very tiny. I was thinking, like, is that the same episode where Ike is taking the the hormone medication. I think that's a different episode.
That's a different episode. It's not the
but
same
Ike is
episode.
comedy, dude. And I think the whole isn't that the same episode where every authority figure who learns that Ike was in this relationship with the teacher,
Every authority figure
all
knows.
supporting him, right? Don't they? Isn't that the episode where they all go nice,
Nice.
yeah. And I think the messaging, again, South Park is brilliant because there's a lot of subliminal messaging within each episode, the subtext or whatever they call it. And the message of that episode was the hypocrisy, the double standard in society of us. Like if it's a male authority figure taking advantage of a female subject, we frown very strongly on that, and rightfully so. But some people, if the roles are reversed and it's a woman in a position of authority and it's a male subject being taken advantage of, you have all those people in the show, like the police, when they learn about that, they go, nice. It's just
I really love that show. So you and I have lots in common. You and I. We love South Park.
I don't go to dance classes. I can't wait to hear.
No, but you and I like South Park.
We do like South Park. And
so
just
that's something you and I have in common, right?
And remember, Chardol, if you like your dance instructor.
And I love to dance, and it's a passion of mine. And
I love it.
I was the first person that actually got into that.
Good stuff.
My parents didn't make me get into it.
I know.
I was a person who made that decision that I want to get into dancing and I want to pursue dancing, so I got into it, and I love doing it. I'm doing it ever since.
All right, we'll
and I'm gonna make it on Dancing with the Stars.
We'll hear about your dancing experience on Thursday's show. Chardol, tell everybody goodbye. Close us out.
Viewers, it was really great to have all of you in the chat. You are the reason why this show is great. If the viewers in the chat were not there, this show would not be possible, and Cy would not be doing the show today.
Agreed.
You would not be doing it. You'd probably get off the air and probably do something else.
Let's get off the air now. I'm tired. I'm out.
I'll join you for the Warriors and Rockets post-game show. Viewers, have a good night. Cy, have a good night. I'll see you for the Warriors Rockets post-game show. Golden Days. Have a great night. See you.